Cloud. All right, hello everybody. It's time for another Eden Open Mic. It is Monday, October 4th. We are T-minus 5 days, basically, to the first official Eden election, which is taking place October 9th at 1300 UTC. Yeah, be there or be somewhere less exciting. Anyway, yeah, so these guys were talking about some big things going on with the bees, Discord, EOS support, all very important initiatives when it comes to EOS. Sorry to interrupt. So, talking, I stopped them, but as you were.
Yeah, so we're EOSB's just set up a Discord. It's much better than Telegram because we have a pretty complex community with different languages, and EOS support is launching soon with their website, and we're going to have a dedicated channel in our Discord for support that will hopefully funnel a bunch of people to the EOS support guys.
That's cool. All right.
It's all meshing together. Almost
so get
like
ready, Randall.
Yeah, I mean, for now we have the Chinese group. We have Dario. We have Joshua and myself. We are willing to, help as much as we can to onboard as many people. And once we get a lot more users coming in, then we will hire more people. And I think Chris is willing to help as well. So hopefully we can be able to get more people to come on board and, help as much as we can to make EOS better,
Yeah. I think I'm going to wrap my auditing bit inside of EOS support. Well, not wrap it in, stick it in, I guess is better. Kind of makes sense. John, Chuck, Nicholas.
Nicholas, yep. Thank you. How you guys doing?
Super. Are you a want to be Eden member? Were you just
yes, please.
Recently chatting? Right on. What's drawing you to Eden? Chuck, why do you want to be a member?
Well, my name is Nicholas. Hello, everybody. I want to be an Eden member because I just I like participating in these forms of governance. I've been here since the beginning of EOS. Prior to that, I was a BitShares community member, and I've just always been drawn to this type of governance and how people communicate, and just yeah, I want to see what I can do and what I can give as well to the community, because I'm currently a co-founder of Block Crafters, which is a Wax guild. So we are a BP on the Wax blockchain, and when the opportunity came to be an Eden member, I was going to do it last week. I was going to come on, but then I got too busy. So then I heard the closing was coming. I'm like, okay, I have to be able to participate in this, what this is. So
I think there was one of your, how big is Block Crafters?
How big is it? We are a 5-man team, or six now with Cody and Dylan.
I think there was one of your guys, he wanted to be a member. We did the video. Then he wanted someone to pay for his 10 EOS. And then he was wondering how he was going to get the 200 EOS payment to becoming a member. And then he found out he wouldn't get 200 EOS. So he stopped trying to become a member, it looked like.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter. I was confused. I don't think he read up on the I didn't understand that, but I also responded to him on Twitter recently about why he has an issue with paying 10 EOS and want people participating, right? Than anybody.
You broke up a touch there, but yeah. So did he have a I actually ended up inviting him. I was the vouching person and I didn't know him. And this is where it gets risky, right? When you invite someone you don't know and you become the voucher. And I was glad that one went through, or sorry, fell through and didn't.
Fell through. Yep.
When he was, oh, I don't get 200 EOS. Well, I don't want to play in this sandbox anymore. I thought I was getting paid to be
right.
Like, that's not.
Yeah.
We're not looking for those kind of people.
Yep. No, definitely not. Yeah. No, and I can't really speak for him specifically, but he must be missing a couple points there, and the reasoning and why, what Eden's about.
Right on. Okay. Do you know any current member yourself, Nicholas? Is there any 280 members now? Do you know any of them by chance?
Yeah, so just to mention a few, I was just looking at the list. Rodrigo, I know. I guess I can go over it.
Well, you don't have to read them off, but what I would suggest is you reach out to the ones that know you, and ideally you get someone who actually be like, yeah, Nicholas, we go way back. You're awesome. I'll invite you. And then
Right.
you get 2 other random witnesses. That's easy. But ideally, if you get someone
Okay, so the way it works is I would have to message someone to then come into the call, and then they vouch for me in the Zoom.
any Zoom is, so the call can be any Zoom call. So the whole point is that you have to show up on a video call.
Yep.
And there's you, your face, 2 witnesses who are looking at you, and you're in the
Oh.
inviter. So the 4 of you have to be on a video call. That can occur at any time. It doesn't have to be with me. It doesn't have to be, it can be with anybody, except the 2 witnesses are Eden members. So all 3 of the other people, other than yourself, would be Eden members. You do a video call, then the person who's inviting you gets your EOS account that you'd like to use. He submits an on-chain transaction to invite you. You go onto that through the web portal and that EOS account, fill out your profile, upload a picture, and then the witnesses, they verify that, yeah, this is what Nicholas looks like. Yes, his links all work for his profile. And then your inviter uploads the video, goes back to you, pay 10 EOS, and you're done. But
Okay, yeah. I didn't know that necessarily I had to bring specifically 2 witnesses to then be in the chat. So I guess that was my miss overlook on this one tonight.
yeah, no worries. No, and it's not even on you. Whoever is inviting you, like if Rodrigo, if Consdorf is going to invite you, then he'll just get 2. You can have 2 random witnesses. It can be anybody. Any Eden member can be a witness. It's the inviter that's that one, because someone's got to vouch, like someone's going to put on
A vouch for you, right?
vouch for Nicholas, because if Nicholas comes in and you turn out to be a scammer and you do something sketch, that's actually, not only will you maybe get kicked out, but the guy who invited you might get kicked out too if it turns out that, hey, why did you, what's your judgment like? Who else did you invite? Let's look, it just opens up a whole can of worms. So some of us are pretty nervous about who we invite without
Okay,
no
yeah.
Who do you know anybody, right?
Totally understandable. Okay, I did just get CMod or C. His Telegram handle is CMadH. He said he would help me.
He's a good dude. Yeah, get him too if you can.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
I think that's Corbin, isn't it?
I don't know if his name's Corbin on his Telegram. I only see Liquid Studios. He's also another fellow Wax Guild.
It's Corbin.
Yeah, it's Corbin. I used to work with him back in the Karma days. Cheeky German.
Cheeky German. Yeah, right on, Nicholas. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're interested, dude, and I'm glad you've come on. And if Corbin or anybody needs a witness, tell them I'm very available. I'll happily witness the video. But you've got up until, you just need to be kind of done and a member by October 8th in the morning, Eastern time. So you can opt in and participate in the elections. You got all week still to get us worked out.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, dude. Take care.
See you guys.
Welcome to Hangout too.
Oh, I'll hang out.
This is just an open shoot the breeze, and new people like yourself who want to introduce themselves can. We'll help them out.
Sure, yeah, I'll hang out.
Oh, I recognize Twatley. I forget your name, but you were in one of my last trial election.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
I chat with you.
Haven't been around too often, but I'm still kind of interested in participating.
Are you a proper member yet?
I have never actually gotten the whole process complete, or didn't get an invite or something like that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, here, yeah, we can. I can help you with that. We had a good conversation there. I'm comfortable inviting you.
I caught the end of what you were just telling Nicholas about getting invited and whatnot.
Yep. So that's basically it. Someone's got to invite you, and then they'll take care of 2 witnesses, and you need to have an EOS account, of course, to make that happen. I think last time you didn't have his EOS account, right? Because it was just a trial election.
Right. That was what I noticed. I tried to sign up again for it, and I'm like, oh, I actually need the Eden account finalized and the EOS account to put up the EOS for, and like, okay, I guess I don't have any of that yet. So
yeah, well, the whole election's on chain now. So the voting, you're going to use your wallet and sign a transaction to vote. There's no Google Forms and none of that randomness. So it's much better, certainly. But you need to have an EOS account, most certainly, and pay 10 EOS to become a member. That's like the skin in the game piece.
Sure.
So if you want to ping me, feel free to shoot me a Telegram message and I can help. We can try to set that up this week in time for the election on Saturday.
Okay, so I actually send one to you.
Yeah, you can message me.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I can, let me put my Telegram handle in the chat. There you go.
And I'm in my office here. Like I saw the chat come up in the chat, and I saw the running out of time for the like the grant for the member thing. So I figured I'd try to make sure I get in on
You
guys
probably
get
won't. Yeah, you
the
probably won't
member-
make it time for that. You'll need to have,
No.
you need to have your EOS account set up like now. I don't know when Eve's
I
gonna.
have
do
an
the-
EO. I have 3 EOS accounts, I guess.
Oh yeah, you could use one of those if you, yeah, if you're interested in, we could try to.
Yeah,
PM
like you want to try to make it happen immediately? I can. I got 2ply as one of mine. I can send you. You said you put your address in the
you
chat.
PM me, yeah. Send me in a Telegram chat your EOS account you want to use. And then I could probably get an invite out straight away. So you're a pending member and then you'd count towards that bonus. So that's cool. 200
Alright.
EOS for the pot. We'll take it.
Heck yeah. What is your? So you're on the Telegram handle here. I'm sure I got that somewhere.
If you go into the chat in Zoom, you'll see an @ just type that into Telegram somewhere. Hopefully I'll pop up. If not, put your handle in and I'll find you.
Quick question, Chris.
Not the best.
If CMOD comes in right now, can I get inducted now then? Did you say you'd be the other witness or no? I needed 2 people then.
No, we could do now. We could just have people turn off their video and quickly do an induction right now. So yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm messaging him, see if he replies in just the next minute here. I do know it's late in Germany.
Yeah. Right on. John?
Yeah, so it doesn't, just to be clear, it doesn't have to be now. We just need to put it on chain right now, and we just need your EOS account for that. So it's inconvenient for the person inviting you. It doesn't have to be now. To get the 200 reward, we just need your EOS account.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the induction.
The inviter is going to need.
Oh,
to do
I
that
want to
on-chain
like
transaction.
participate in the whole election though, like in the
Yeah.
whole process.
He's just talking about getting the 200 EOS bonus to the treasury, the part that Dylan got confused about, where it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I'm not even
Mhm.
worried
Personal
about that
treasury.
part.
Yeah,
That's not
but
like what
the-
I'm focused
For the
on.
Eden treasury, it's cool. Like right now, any new Eden member, any pending invitation or actual member, as of at some point today, Eve is going to do a snapshot, and whatever that number of members are, it's 200 EOS per person. Time that number of members gets then added to the Eden treasury for us all to then use basically in the upcoming election and future elections. So there's been a push to get more members at least inducted, fully inducted, or temporarily, like our pending induction.
Right.
For today. What Jesse's saying is that even though the video may not be done for your induction, we could still do the on-chain bit. The problem is Corvin would actually have to do the on-chain bit. And so even though the video doesn't need to be today, the inviter still needs to do that on-chain transaction. And if he's asleep, he won't be able to do it. That's all.
Okay, well, let's see. He said he's available in 15 minutes.
Ah,
All right.
there we go. The induction machine continues. We've done quite a few these days.
Hey Chris, so did I send you 10 EOS?
No, don't do that. I'll run away and hide. You need to, so what's your Telegram address?
Telegram. I think
What's your handle there?
my handle. I'm just 2ply.
TWOPLY?
PLY. Yep.
Have you ever? Oh, 2ply. Is it an N as your?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was originally an N. My first name, Nick.
Okay, Telegram's super slow today, but I've just messaged you. If that comes up, we can chat there, and I'll get your EOS account, and we can probably do the video right now too. We got enough people on here, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I do see your message. I'm on the Telegram on my PC here. I can see. So
What name do you want to go by? You can go by two-ply.
I'll stick with 2-ply.
Okay.
Now, before that happens, Chris, I need to know, is that a toilet paper reference or
my
are we
rapper
talking
name.
or are we talking plywood, like really thin plywood?
I am 2-ply, the rapper name. It's my computer generated name from many years ago on the internet.
Oh, rapper. Oh, now that's cool. Okay, that's cool.
I just got my rapper name from a goofy website way back in the pre-2000s.
No, now that you've made that reference, that's pretty gangster. I like it. I like it even more. Two-ply. Yeah, you'll have to do a rap song. Yeah.
A little out of practice, maybe.
Okay, who wants to witness on this call?
I'd be happy to witness, Chris. Oh no, I can't. I don't have my camera.
Okay, we got enough people here. We just need either Chuck, Mel, or John turn off your camera. Whoever turns it off first, you don't get to be the witness. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, we're good. John, you're good. Mel, you're good. Oh, John turned his off too. See, I knew that was going to happen.
Right, what do you want me to do?
How come? Okay, you're good. Just leave it like that. You're now a witness. But shit, where did my ability to hide non-video participants go?
You want us to jump? You want us to jump out for 5 minutes?
No, that's too much work. There's a way that I've done in the past where I can hide non-video. I turned it all back on. I've re-enabled non-video participants, and now I don't know how to get rid of non-video participants. I guess it doesn't really matter. It just doesn't look as nice.
As long as there's 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses.
No, just 2. So you, Mel,
Two
and John Williamson can be the witnesses.
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm counting you as the witness as well.
No, I'm the inviter.
Yeah, the inviter. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, hide non-video participants. Okay, good. All righty, two-ply, give me a sec here. Not that I really need the script, but you know, I'm stubborn. I read it all every time. No, John. Okay, here we go, two-ply. This is the magic of the video. This part's, oh wait, I'm gonna have to cut this out of the video that I'm recording because I'm already recording.
Can't you just stop and start again?
No, because then the open mic will be all weird. It's okay, okay, here we go. Hello everyone, my name is Chris, and we're here today to induct two-ply into the Eden community. I'm joined by Mel and John of the Eden community who wish to express their support for the addition of two-ply. Two-ply, have you read and understood the Eden Peace Treaty?
Yes.
And two-ply, do you agree to abide by the Peace Treaty?
I do.
Actually, have you read,
Yes.
have you seen the Peace Treaty in advance of this?
Yeah, I read it when I originally signed up and
Yeah.
made my introduction email, like probably in June or so.
Okay, excellent. I want to make sure there's not some like pressured answer, like, oh shit, I'm supposed to say yes. So
Oh
good
yeah,
thing
I
you-
couldn't repeat it to you, but I'm pretty sure I did that originally when I went
Yeah.
through the intro.
I think I probably sent, and I think we communicated, so I may have sent it to you. Anyway, so, okay, Mel, did you believe that two-ply understands and will abide by the Peace Treaty?
I do.
And John, do you believe that two-ply understands and will abide by the Peace Treaty?
I do.
Excellent. I also believe that two-ply understands the Peace Treaty and he will abide by it. Two-ply, welcome to Eden.
Thank you.
Hey,
I'm
well done.
glad to be welcome.
So you're not officially a member, really, this is just a video formality, so it's a bit premature, but that's part's done, and everyone can come back onto the video if they want. Now I can show non-video participants. Sweet.
The peace
Okay.
treaty is there. I'll put it in the chat if you want to read it at some point.
I'm gonna have thank you, Mel, another refresher. You've just signed we only need 3 pints of blood, and then you're basically in. It's really easy.
Take as much as you need. I can make more.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so in Telegram, two-ply, send me your EOS account that you'd like to use.
All right. It is.
Okay. Bless you.
Have you guys played with Violet?
I tried once to comment on a post and it gave me an error, and I haven't been back on it yet to mess around with it much, other than collecting my free Vio, because gotta get them tokens.
Good stuff. There's yeah, there's a fair bit of a bidding war going on. What was the yeah,
So I've played with Violet, John. I really like it. Just it does remind me of Voice, and just pretty sweet that you can trade for EOS tokens, and seems like the trading rate's pretty good. So that was pretty exciting.
Me ain't got that.
Get some EOS tokens, and yeah, I totally support it, and great job.
I think the guy's done a great job of done what he's done. It's amazing.
yeah, well, just again, that's what we can do, which is, one person would be good if funding becomes a thing, and then can sort of expand and make it even bigger and better. But yeah, my first post is that the current bid for the first post is 4,200 Via, which is $22 US. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And then yeah, I'll bid on it later, and then yeah, but for those who don't know, essentially when you get outbid, you get a 10% return on your original bid. So you make money purely for just getting outbid by someone. And then 10% goes to the author, and then 10% goes to the service to help pay the bills. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm keen for shipping new features soon, just adding a bit more polish on the existing app and paying off a bit of tech debt.
Did you do them little fixes that I mentioned, John?
Oh yeah, I've done a few. I'm gonna go back through our messages and see exactly what is remaining. But there's a few little comforts that have been put in, especially with the trading widget as well. I know there's some issues there.
But you haven't had much sleep, like, have you?
No, I didn't get home till like 1 a.m. last night because I was just in the zone coding.
Yeah,
yeah, I've only just woken up for this.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you're not wearing your tie.
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit scruffy. Yeah, I haven't had a shower or anything yet.
John, what's the URL for that, for Violet?
It's violet.garden.
.gov?
Sorry, violet.garden.
Garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like we've got sort of, Garden of Eden, so I thought we'd continue it. So yeah, Violet Garden.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. But yeah,
Any
Chris, you got
token
to
that
get
can
on
be
it.
traded is my kind of token. The
Well,
voice
yeah,
tokens were a little frustrating in that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's instantly tradable. There's no sort of exchange that you got to go to. You just got a swap widget right there, and then again, you get like free 50 Vio tokens. So at the moment, like 50 Vio tokens is 27 US cents. But yeah,
How was the rate set?
it's all done by a Bancor liquidity pool that I'm that I created.
But you users don't have access to the liquidity pool though, right?
Technically they do behind the scenes. I just haven't made the app sort of support it, but on a contract level, nothing stops people from adding more liquidity. I would like to add more liquidity depth, but at the moment it's just all coming out of my pocket. So put $2,000 in there for now.
Okay.
Hopefully we can expand that later on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you put it on the UI, you're gonna get more liquidity depth.
Yeah. I'll have to add it when I can.
My other question is, I just tested to try to log in with a non-Eden account, and it said that it's currently only for Eden members. And then I saw you post in the Telegram that you're looking at other ways to verify identity.
Yep.
What other ways are you looking at?
I haven't ventured too far out, but even Voice did the traditional, KYC, checking. But then again, I would say it would be probably easy just to be, joining Eden. Another venture might be perhaps, sort of trusted parties where, say you get a quota of like 2 accounts, and so
Not
because
like a
you're an Eden
Facebook
member-
one,
so.
not like a Facebook trusted.
Yeah, true. That's another option as well.
At
if
work at the
Facebook
minute,
comes up to it. Yeah, like there's plenty of ways of doing it. But I also need to sort of separate stuff because at the moment it's very Eden centric kind of thing. So if we were to let other people in, then sort of create like an Eden only section, and then like have the Eden world, and then the sort of general EOS world. Because it would be cool to get your average Joe on there, eh? Sort of just sent like an invite link, and they click on it, and then an EOS account gets created for them, and then it shows them how to do Anchor and stuff like that, and then you can get more of your sort of average Joe on there as well, and really prove what a big social media platform, or what EOS could do, kind of thing, like how scalable it is. So. But yeah, for now, just baby steps. I want to deliver something that's cool for Eden, and then once I'm happy with that, then we'll sort of expand it to other people.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, John. I can't. I was just stunned in comparison to what let's just say another team attempted to do for just a little bit larger budget.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I sat here and I was just dumbfounded. Now, of course, I was trying to bid on stuff and it wasn't really working that well in the comments. And I thought to myself, man, I just can't believe it. What you're able to do, just like one guy just hacking away in his basement. And this is the future of blockchain right here, man. So whatever we can do to help you, all of us we're out, I probably spend an hour a day on the boards, various times of the day. And man, I'd love to just promote the heck out of this. This is just phenomenal.
Yeah. For EOSBs, certainly a project we'd love to support, but perhaps just a little bit of marketing advice. Take it or leave it. Especially if you're talking about average Joes coming in, your tagline, maybe change it, because it's a very kind of EOS-centric, Eden-centric tagline. But
yeah, no, I agree. I mainly just put there to sort of make a statement to get the the Voice originals sort of pumped. But yeah, once as we go forward, then I'll ditch the tagline and come up with something different.
Is your plan to have, I was just wondering if the plan was to have VIO, are you going to end up trading that? Are you going to talk to New Dex, guys like that, and try to get this listed?
Yeah. Well, if they're interested, yeah.
Long term, yeah. Obviously not tomorrow, but
yeah. I do like the sort of ease of use with the swap portal. No order book, complications and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely, I think the token can grow more, and if it is listed on Udex and stuff like that. There's also,
I believe you can create your own swaps on DeFi Box as well.
Yeah, I got to look into that. The only reason I went with Bancor, Paul, is purely because I used to work for Bancor. Like I just quit Bancor like last week, so I kind of went with them purely because like I know how the pool works, on the smart contract level and stuff like that. That's how I was able to do the swap widget, easy enough. I didn't have to use any external resources. I did that all, by myself. So yeah, but I'll have to look into DeFi Box and what other sort of AMM products are out there.
What's the website called again?
Violet.garden. I'll put it in the chat.
Where are you based out of?
Queensland, Australia.
I was gonna say, I thought you sounded like a southerner. The land down under. So what are you doing? What do you do? What time is it there?
It's almost not 9 in the morning.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, and then hopefully as well, Crypto Rada, because again, Crypto Rada used to run on Voice and have all their posts there before they had to jump ship and go elsewhere. So maybe we can get a bit more Crypto Rada content on there as well. I think that'll be fun to see.
Nice to
Hey,
have a
John.
team, John. You can't be doing all this on your own, surely.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely feeling that. I guess sort of just wait until see what the funding options are. I guess I don't know. My plan was just wait for the eating election, sort of sit on my hands till then, have the eating election, see what happens after that, and then if need be, I guess reach out to Pomelo. I imagine Pomelo will be the way to go. If yeah.
You're going to get burnt out very soon, otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Especially marketing. I'm terrible at marketing, so
You can't do everything, can you? You got every time we say something. Oh yeah, I've got to do that. I've got.
Yeah.
It's just impossible to do everything. But you've done an amazing job so far. Well done to you.
Thank you.
Have you spoken to Eves?
No, I swung him a message a while back saying, before the release actually, and I just said, hey, just so you know, I'm going to make my, sort of social media platform on EOS, but I imagine he's just been, too busy.
Right. Yeah. Well, once you get a few of us, beta users and hammer out any of the major issues, and it's ready to kind of to show. You definitely want to reach out to EOS Foundation and make them aware of this, because there's going to be a significant budget next year, and that's obviously this is one of those projects that should be front and center on their radar.
Well, I think
scale.
EOS Foundation, they're mostly going to be funding things through Pomelo, these kind of projects. Like they'll have their own internal projects that are system goods, like for everyone. But this kind of project, I think they'll be matching funds on Pomelo. So I think that would be a good avenue for them.
I think one of the problems
that's coming out soon anyway, isn't it? Pomelo won't be long before it's released. Hopefully, very soon. Probably this month.
Yeah.
I think, John, you were saying you were going to sit in your hands until after the till the election, till you see what happens. And I think a lot of people are uncertain about how it's going to play out. Inevitably, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to fall through the cracks of the first round, second round, whatever. But I think people like Eve and they're expecting the Eden community to sort of pull together and fund the things that don't make it politically through the first round, right? I think the Eden process is capable of identifying worthy projects that don't make it with their own funding. And I think when you get to that board level, the board is going to say, hey, that guy could use some funding. Especially when you go through and you mine some of the videos, the chats that we end up having in the election. Some of those early rounds are full of valuable information, right? And in my opinion anyway, it'll be the duty of the whole community to come together and suss out what projects fell through the cracks, basically, politically.
Do you think those projects should be funded then through Pomelo or from the winnings of the Eden election?
No, I think it can come together at the board level when at the final board, if the board comes and says, this was a very worthwhile project that didn't end up getting a penny, whether it was unknown or whether there were 3 super strong candidates in the first round together, whatever happens that causes somebody to not get their own budget for themselves, I think the Eden community can come together and identify the things that are worthwhile for the community itself to fund. And this seems to be like this is a project that ties everybody together. And I think it would be worthy of funding, from the upper levels.
So ideally, the problem is if it comes, there's not going to be a lot of funding in this election period. Like that's what we all have to reconcile, right? The amount of funding that a board level is going to get wouldn't be enough, for example, to fund the kind of work that John needs to do for Violet Garden. That's just one project. And there might only be 4 or 5 board members. So what I think your point is absolutely a good one, but the way Eden can try to then have those projects get some funding is to then encourage a Pomelo platform.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
that's where we get to leverage this quadratic bit. And if we get a bunch of, if the people at the top of the Eden community, the top of the board are really loud, and we say, hey, Eden members, come on, and we could even give some of our EOS to all of these Eden members that are going to participate. And then you
And it
multiply
multiplies
the
it.
number, right? That's where I think we can see even that first round, even the first round, you're getting 100 EOS, give that to 10 other Eden members, you got 10 each. You're not going to turn that 100 into maybe a few thousand, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how, we'll have to see how it goes, but I think your point's straight on, but that's how we try to leverage it is by using Pomelo.
Yeah, I totally agree. People are still thinking of Eden as like a way for like a crowdfunding platform, but I think Eden is really a way of electing good coordinators. It's more of a social layer. And if we elect good coordinators and people who can help organize these kinds of efforts, then that multiplies the energy of everyone. And yeah, maybe in the future when there's much more funding, you could think of Eden more as like for long-term funding for these big projects. But I think really right now it's more about electing community leaders that can then, smartly allocate those funds. But more important than anything, more important than the funds is the communication and the community and everything that like that. The kind of soft value, I think, is the most important.
And
Well,
developing communication tools like this.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't the 2% approved? The 2% inflation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was approved, right? So that's 20 million EOS next year.
Depending on the value of the EOS next year.
Right, 20 million EOS next year. 20 million EOS, right? 2% of the network. So
Could be a lot more.
that's well, right, but 20 million EOS is a lot, right? So if at a $5 to $10 valuation, say in spring of 22, you could be looking at anywhere from $100 to $200 million fiat value. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if I was in charge of that, if I were Eves, and I had a $150 million budget, Violet Garden is a no-brainer, right? As are obviously other projects with folks on this call. I don't want to just, but this is exactly the kind of thinking that needs to start happening. This is the voice platform that Dan was envisioning, tied right into EOS and having that open, flexible, community-based feel. And I can't see that this wouldn't be just an obvious slam dunk for some of the use of proceeds next year. So I sure hope that starts happening. I'd be very disappointed if it doesn't.
John, the regional voice failed, I believe, because of the tokenomics and across the globe because of taxation and everything. So how would it work with your version?
Well, yeah, I think voice failed because again, Block One, they're trying to do everything by the book, and while they have a lot of money, they're somewhat stunted by it. I think because again, they've got a lot to lose, and so my understanding is that they filed a whatever document with the government to sort of get the voice token or whatever approved, and that just sat on someone's desk, and no one ever got back to them, and rather than keep burning money, they decided to pivot to the NFTs, where in my case I'm not really interested in permission. You know, so I'm just gonna do it, and we'll see what happens. I'm done waiting.
We like your style, John.
I love it, 100%. And just, you know, hey, it's a lot easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. So you charged ahead, and that's how it should be done. And I should say that, you know, if you look at the way the whole thing's going to be structured, there's no reason why you can't, on the back end of this, with funding and more developers at your disposal, that you couldn't build a nice little reporting engine. I'm just throwing this out there, and you say, okay, here's for you the U.S. market, you know, here's for the US market, here's for the Australian market, here's a 1099. In our case, it's a 1099 contractor, you know, that kind of thing. You earned this VIO, and you made the equivalent in fiat dollars of $1,321, and this is what you owe. And your system could output that and forward it over to the account holder, and then it's incumbent upon them to file their taxes. They could do with it what they will. And that's one of the reasons that just frustrated the heck out of me. It's like Voice didn't even have those kinds of well, maybe they did, and we don't know, but it seemed to me that they gave up really easily. And it was very frustrating because I spent quite a bit of time on that platform.
Yeah, and to back Ray up a little bit, I remember a conversation with Dan, or an interview with Dan, and he was saying it's more the IRS than the SEC is what the problem is here. So I think Ray's right on the money. You can automate reporting and compliance, or maybe not compliance, but at least automate the financial reporting. At least according to Dan, that's the bigger threat than like a securities violation.
That's exactly right. Listen, the IRS is the ultimate mafia, right? They just want their taste. They don't care what you do, as long as you give them their tax cut, you know, their slice of the pie. You give them what they're, you know, render unto Caesar, right? That's all they care about. They'll leave you alone. So in your case, I would say just once you have some funding, get yourself a tax accountant and pick a couple of markets like Australia and US, you know, would be a perfect example, and just figure out what report you need to put out. Done. And then if the IRS says, hey, wait a minute, you're not in compliance, say, okay, what do I need to do to be compliant? And then you fix it. But I love the fact that you just put it out and you just showed what can be done here. That's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe within half a year to a year, Eden will have its own gang of
there you go.
accountants and lawyers.
Known faces in here.
Are you looking to release it globally or nationally? What's the plan then, John? Is it just...
Yeah, step one, create a mature, polished platform for Eden, and then after that, branch out into more people and sort of new methods of, you know, identification, and then yeah, open it up to the world.
Eden is a perfect closed beta platform.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
Yeah. Where's your domain hosted?
Namecheap. I bought it with, and they're doing my DNS hosting as well.
Do you know where they're out of? I'm just wondering. I wonder what jurisdiction gets tied in on this. In other words, if somebody comes after you, you know, for any reason, and it won't happen for a long time. I'm just wondering in the future. And the beauty of the blockchain, of course, is that, you know, it's all there. Everything's there, and just a matter of, you know, at some point putting out a series of reports. It's fantastic.
Is that Corbin?
Yep.
That's me.
Yes, how you doing?
Do you guys want to do the induction video now? Corbin, you're cool to do the invite for Nicholas?
Do you want me to do the induction?
I'll record it. You gotta read the script. Yeah. You're the one
I've never done it before.
Oh, that's even more exciting. That's the best one you've never.
No.
Okay. What I'll do is we'll make a breakout room, and
where's the full script?
I'll send you the script. Don't worry. So let me do. Let's set up a breakout room. Who wants to witness with myself? Someone's got to put their hand up.
I'll come again if you want.
I don't mind. It's up to you. Everyone.
Chuck's gonna come. Chuck needs some more NFTs. Okay, I'll make a breakout room. That way this will kind of work, I think. Okay, now I'm gonna assign. Nicholas, Corvin, Chuck. And I don't see myself, but I think I can just go. All right, add a room. Oh, no, that's it. Okay. Do you guys see that room? Does that work? No.
I don't
No.
see it.
Hold on. Open all rooms.
I got
Join.
the invite.
Okay. I will try to join you there. Yeah, I can. Okay, I can join. Okay, I'll be back in a minute there, fellas. Have fun. Join room 1.
Cool.
All right. I wanted to ask you, you're probably already thinking about this as a feature, but when I was just going through the homepage, I wanted to see like the current bid before I clicked into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I want that too. I was telling my girlfriend about it like the other day. So that's a feature that will come. The only reason it's not there at the moment is purely because there's two different sources of data, right? You know, we got the API and then, you know, the actual, you know, bid amount is on the contract. So it's a bit more complicated than your traditional app or traditional app because, yeah, we basically got to fetch two different data sources, merge it together and sort of handle the race conditions and everything that goes along, you know, with that. But yeah, it's definitely a feature that I'm keen on. Maybe even a bid button. What do you think? Should there be a bid button there as well? So you click on the amount and then it bids right there. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the con of that is, you maybe want people to read the thing before they bid on it.
Yeah.
But I'd say fuck that. Let people bid on the headline if they want.
Yeah, well, with every bid, everyone wins, eh? Like as soon as there's a bid, the author wins. As soon as there's a bid, the previous bidder wins. So yeah, I think the more activity, the better. Yeah. And then I guess NFTs as well. Like, is what is important is the, you know, there's incentive to be the previous bidder, but again, there needs to be incentive to be, you know, the final bidder. So again, the idea is that the final bidder will be able to, you know, boost his comment, then have sort of a right to sort of, you know, put an ad or something at the top of the page, perhaps, and then you know, possibly as well, yeah, we mint an NFT, you know, that represents that post. And then, you know, they can hold on to that, or they can, you know, sell it, you know, on a completely different market if they wanted to. It's up to them.
Can the top, the ad space, could it be a custom link?
Yeah, I think so. And ideally as well, maybe you could, you know, rent it out to other people as well. So, you know, you might not you know, have anything to advertise, but again, if you could rent it to someone who then has the right to do it, I reckon that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I guess I'll just have to look into NFTs because there's different NFT standards these days as well. And I think I think Atomic is a popular one, isn't it? But I don't think Atomic supports like borrowing as well. So an NFT that you could sort of, you know, rent out to other people would be cool. So yeah, it's another
that's in the Simple Assets Plus has
Okay.
that feature, but it's not open. Voice owns the rights to that tech exclusively as of right now. Whether they're open in the future, I don't know.
As if we didn't pay for it already.
You think?
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. But yeah, let me know if you have any other ideas for you know, what the top bidder should get as well.
I think that's good enough to start, those three things.
Yeah, plenty to build, and then I want to create like a profile detail page as well. So you click on a profile and it brings them up. There'll also be probably like badges or something. So you'll actually have a badge if you're an Eden member before the election. That'll be recognized. And then yeah, just, you know, little things, and then just even just a message button. I just want a message button. You click that and it just opens up their Telegram you know, handle. So yeah, if you see someone like in one of these meetings, you'd be like, oh, like, who's Mel Pierce? And so you just, jump on the app, type in Mel into the search, and then that up comes.
Everyone knows who I am.
Another idea, John,
Yep.
to have like a leaderboard, like
Yeah.
most, what are we calling it? Most bid, like
Yep.
in a week, a day, a month, a year.
Active bidder and, yeah, most active bidder.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the other thing to
Okay.
think about is like the algorithm. I know that Voice like did a lot of iteration on which posts show up, and they had different options for the algo.
Mhm.
I don't know how much thought you've put into that.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'll try to start with just the basics. So yeah, sort of, most recent posts like it is now, and then, most bidded posts, and then probably trending, which is just, how much it's gone up in the past 24 hours or something like that.
Right.
And then, yeah, once that's in there, then I'll, see if I can hire someone to make me a fancy algorithm or whatever it might be to, put in a bit more, smarter content. But yeah, simple.
But yeah, but I like the options. Like I like how Voice
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then of course that could be part of like the segmented groups that you were talking about, like an Eden algorithm,
Yeah.
not Eden, all that stuff.
Someone wasn't too happy about comments not being on chain. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it personally.
You have a private chain running, or is that?
No, it all runs on EOS mainnet. But for comments, they just go directly to my server, which is authenticated by the token that Anchor makes you sign. So when you
Okay.
press sign in with Anchor, it actually, signs a message. It sends that to my server and proves who you are. And then once you've proven who you are, then I'll, it accepts, comments.
But what are the limitations? Why are they not on chain?
I mainly just did it for simplicity, not having to do a transaction for everything. But it's easily changeable if people will prefer, perform the transaction.
So if that's the case, then I would vote for comments on chain.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because I am trying to find a balance as well in terms of like how to authenticate user actions. So I would maybe explore something where like everything is on chain, but you can choose to do what you're doing now, where you have a JWT or some kind of a cookie that the server uses for authentication, and in that case the server would post the comment on your behalf, or you could post the comment directly using your account, and that way if your server goes down, the platform still runs. It's less convenient, but it's more resilient.
Yeah. Though, where do you think the comment will actually go? Like, should the comment actually get stored in RAM, or should it just be IPFS hashed again? Or
no, you can't store that kind of thing in RAM. I would definitely just put it on chain, and then you can use Defuse or Hyperion to grab it, or maybe you could even store the last 1,000 comments on chain in a table, so you can look the recent comments up quickly. But comments older than that, you need to get out of history.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that to the ability to have attachments as well? In other words, at some point, if you have large images and or little video clips, what do you hash a pointer on the main net, but that pointer points over to like an AWS instance or something? Or how does that work?
Yeah, well, for images at the moment, when you upload an image, it goes to my server just as a middleman, and then it sends that over to Pinata, and
Okay.
Pinata's that RPFS pinning service that all the NFTs and stuff use, and then Pinata will confirm that it's storing the hash of that image for me, and once that's confirmed, I'll send that back down to the client, and then that's when your loading spinner stops. And so that's when you know that it's on RPFS. And then when you
Okay.
create a post, yeah, the you know, all the post content is also put into another IPFS hash, and the same cycle is repeated, and then the IPFS hash goes on to the chain.
Jumping back quickly to comment storage, one thing that I built a forum on the Steam blockchain a couple years ago, and storing data like that and retrieving it wasn't all that simple. But if you are going to do things like things that you don't need immediately available, like we're talking about not storing them in RAM, you could just post them as data and then don't have a table or anything process it. And then you could build your own indexer in the background that just watches for actions for that specific action and then builds your own database. The forums that I built did that. They basically just followed the chain and watched for relevant actions. And then I built my own database based on it. So that way I still had that resiliency. Like it wasn't my server crashed and all the data's gone. I could just replay the blockchain.
That's how we did it with Karma as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that is how we do it with Karma.
And another approach, one of our developers also built the Sentium, which is a logging platform on EOS that hasn't gotten much love recently. But what he's doing is in his table, he is storing, I think, either transaction ID or block number, or trying to get close to a block number. And then just storing that information as a pointer to a specific block. So that way, when you need the information, you can just call get block. And then you can see that raw data in the raw block because it's not state, it's just raw data.
Oh.
So yeah, two different ways you can kind of get around not having to store it in RAM.
John, you worked at Comma?
Just
me and Corbin used to work together at Karma. Corbin did the back end, and then I did the front end, the Android app.
Is that the automated ride software?
No,
Comma.ai?
Social media for human beneficial interactions.
Oh, okay. I'm
Like
thinking of something else.
3.5 years ago, it's completely dead in the meantime.
Got it.
Yeah. Chuck, can you send me your EOS account name, please, for the Eden invite? Yeah, and by the way, not me and John messed it up. Dallas Rushing messed it up.
Oh,
Why is
Karma. Karma.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought it was a damn good experience, and I think that's what helped start my development career as well. Because before that, I hadn't built really anything. So yeah, no, it was a roller coaster.
Dallas is now doing Dibs though, right? I believe he's Dibs.io, which is a trading card marketplace for fractional trading card trading.
From what I know, Dibs is his only public project where people know that he's the one behind. He's
right.
In the meantime, he's building things on Binance Chain and Solana, but more like anonymous.
Right.
Corbin, what are you working on right now?
His face is Dibs.
I'm working on everything related blockchain and gaming. My company is top 21 on WAGs. Yeah, we are working on a game for quite a while and on tools to enable developers to build the same.
Yeah, I've been following your developments. Very cool. It's very impressive what you guys are building, actually.
What is it called?
Currently, our first game is called Liquid Universe. It's a massive multiplayer strategy online space game. Yeah, and
cool.
Progress is quite nice in the meantime. Yeah, and team is growing. We like to grow slowly but steadily. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah,
I'll check it out.
What I like most is that I will invite you guys to the next demo. What I like the most of it is that we haven't took any money from the community so far. Our wax pays, we haven't sold a single wax. We're completely self-funded, and everything we do is at the same time something for the public. So we are building really SDKs for everything: Atomic Assets, Atomic Hub, Diffuse. We took over the libraries from Scatter. Currently working on Hyperion SDK for Unity, traditional game engine, patterns and all that stuff coming in the future. Yeah, and it's a real game. It's not just gamified DeFi or not just collectibles. It's a real game. It makes fun to play. That's one of the big points.
That's
Have you
awesome.
checked
That's
out
what Wax is
Uplift?
waiting for.
It's coming to Wax and EOS. Definitely also EOS.
I'd like to
What
see a
is
demo of that if possible. I'd like to have a go at that.
Sorry,
I'd like to have a look at the demo if possible.
right now?
No, not now. Obviously, at some point.
I think the demo is still live.
Yep.
So I really.
Wait,
I
what
could-
did you say is coming to Wax and EOS?
And else,
Yeah.
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 No, what is though? What is?
Our first game, Liquid Universe, the
Oh, okay.
strategy space game.
Awesome.
Potentially also other EOS.io based chains in the future.
The beauty about building on the chains is that it's easy to deploy. It's easier to deploy onto EOS if you already built it for Wax,
Yeah.
because they're both EOS
Yeah,
IO.
and there's really no reason not to do that.
Right. Yeah, that's what we will be doing with our products as well.
Yeah, there are even huge benefits, like you can combine the different target groups. Someday in the future, you will be able to connect the different games to one bigger game. Like one of my big visions is that we have one galaxy on Wax, one galaxy on EOS, maybe one galaxy on Ultra or something like that.
Shared.
And you can trade things between these galaxies while
Yeah.
flying through the black hole, and much more liquidity and
Almost like Diablo 2 universes and servers.
So that implies that you have an IBC solution.
yeah, we
I believe
don't have
Wax
an
has IBC.
solution yet, but
Or they're building one right now.
I mean there
Are
are
they?
different IBC solutions out there, but it's not that someone has built this kind of holy grail for IBC so far.
Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
how you made it sound, just how you were describing it.
It's one of the visions. We are definitely waiting for the solution for IBC.
Got it.
Now that's
I mean-
Corwin. That's the space that Ultra is in, right? Ultra. They do games on the chain. Have you done any collaboration with them? Are you working with Ultra?
Not yet. No.
No. Okay.
No. And it's not on our roadmap for now, but it's possible for the future for sure.
Just curious, as I'm certainly not a gamer and have no knowledge of how to go about building a game. I was just curious, as it seems like there'd be a lot of shared assets. Like if they had open source bits and bobs, and you guys could share, knowledge. I'm just wondering does that happen in the gaming community or no?
Unfortunately, my experience so far is that most of the companies are not building games. They are trying to make money. They are taking NFTs
And
they are selling them, and then they think about what kind of utility can we put behind these assets.
Okay.
That's the typical way. That's why all these games are so limited, because people don't think about game mechanics in the first spot,
Right.
and about the right patterns to build these games. One of the common mistakes I really hate it in the meantime is that people which are building, or people, projects, companies which are building games, they are doing like 3 to 4 requests to the API to synchronize the blockchain state with the local client. 3 to 4 requests per second per client being active.
Wow.
If you have 1,000 players, that's 4,000 requests, or 1,000 players live playing, that's 4,000 requests per second. If you have multiple tables, that multiplies. That's nonsense. That's bullshit. And you can do much better and much faster, much more user-friendly and that's where we started. That's where we started. Game mechanics and making games user friendly, interaction rich.
Now, when
I
you
mean, we
extend your game from Wax to EOS, do you think, are you already a BP on EOS? So do you think you'll register onto EOS if you do extend
yeah,
your?
we
Will you
reg-
push your infrastructure onto the EOS mainnet as well?
Absolutely. But we don't have much infrastructure yet. I mean, we have block producing infrastructure, but the game is
Right.
only running.
You don't have like
running on-
Hyperion or AA API.
We have on Wax. We have on EOS. We don't.
Oh yeah, you're saying
Once-
on EOS
once-
it's only a block producer.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
understood.
wanted to say we don't have our own services for our games.
Mhm.
We are just using the public open source software that everyone uses for our games. So
Right.
So then why?
I wanted to make clear that our games don't rely on our private infrastructure. If we
I have a
turn everything off, they still could run and players could still play. That's also one of the things we wanted to do right from the beginning.
I'm curious
Yeah.
about why, if you come to EOS, why would you be a BP? Aren't there extra responsibilities and costs of also becoming a BP? Like, why
Yes.
do you have to become a BP just because you move your game over to EOS?
For me, what Dan is literally saying for the last 3 years, who should become BP? Who should become a BP? And the answer, those who want to transact, makes perfect sense. If we become a BP,
Right.
or if we just get into a paid spot like place 64 or something like that, where we earn 140 EOS a day, I would directly spend 100 EOS on free transactions for our users. That's perfect. It's a perfect situation. And that way you can drive the value back to the community directly. And if you can compensate your expenses for the nodes, for the infrastructure, with the rest of the income, that would be
Wow.
the solution in the situation.
Imagine that, a BP that actually drives value back to the chain. That's heresy. How dare you?
Hey, Aaron is in this call.
No, I know. Listen,
There's
and
a
believe
few
me,
of us.
that comment was not directed at him or anyone like him. No, those will remain nameless. We're recording. But that sounds fantastic. I don't know a lot about gaming, but it sounds like a brilliant way to do it. You start out with a great game infrastructure and platform, and then you add in the NFT instead of the other way around. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, but could I give a retort to what he just said? So with the onset of the EOS Foundation and Eden and Pomelo, there are other ways to get funded. Shouldn't the BPs that are in paid position their intention should be to actually produce blocks? You can
Should
get your
also-
What do you
funding
mean by
from
that?
other places now. You don't
It
have
should
to be.
also
one
be those who want to govern the network. And sometimes those that make the best decisions for the network are going to be the ones that operate on the network. I mean, for some of these parties that are just staking organizations essentially and are just there to produce blocks and kind of rubber stamp everything that comes by, they're not going to make as good of decisions as people who are genuinely interested in seeing the network succeed. So I don't
Good
think
point.
it's black or white, but not all. You're right. There are new funding sources. So the only reason, the only way to get funding used to be to become a VP, and that's no longer going to be a requirement. So now it's two distinct paths.
No, totally, Aaron. But that's not his intention to provide governance for the chain either. I mean, he's a game and wants funding, and that's his rationale for becoming BP. And I'm just saying, there's other funding. Maybe you don't have to do that.
Game might lead to insights on how best to improve the chain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
it- It's whether
Well,
you're
I think-
interested in applying those insights or not, you know?
Yeah, and Jesse, I think the idea was that if you've got all that running, that they've got all that running, it's not a much bigger step to just become a BP and participate in those daily rewards. But yeah, I mean, to your point, if we all agree on 2% inflation, and we all agree that by funding all these fantastic projects, we're going to do a lot better than 2%, right? We're going to turn that 2% a year into 20% growth. So that's smart business, right? And
Right.
so it's really the idea with the general inflation body. But having I think that the point of having that BP to stand that up, it does a number of things, right? It gains more visibility into the performance of the network. You gain visibility as a BP, and yeah, it seems like that would be an obvious thing to do. I kind of agree with that. Not to mention the fact that you're sponsoring, if you're one of the heavy consumers of resources on the net as a gaming infrastructure, and you provide a BP, then the optics on that are fantastic, because you're like, hey, listen, we're helping to produce blocks, so we're part of this team. I think that's smart.
Yeah, I think it allows, because some BPs are only BPs because it's profitable, and and if it weren't profitable, then they would be they might not want to be BP anymore, and they might just shut down the servers and leave. Whereas if you got games and other DApp providers and stuff running it, even if they were sort of financial difficulties or whatever, they still have the economic incentive to keep the lights on, because otherwise their game doesn't run either. And I guess the more BPs to choose from, the better. If there were a crisis or whatever where a top BP was corrupt or it did something, or whatever, if we got more of a range of BPs to pick from, trusted block producers, then I think that's better for everyone.
Would that really make a difference, though? I mean, what the definition of a corrupt BP? Do we really want to go there? Because it seems to me that's probably a tough topic to tackle. And then even if we, the lowly pleb, wanted to change it, we don't have enough vote stake to even pick a different BP anyway.
No, but he's just saying that, like, if one of the BPs had to go offline for whatever reason, that there would be a diverse set of standby BPs that can potentially take that place, corrupt or not.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that, do we want someone who's super dedicated on his game and perhaps does not have the resources to do the other things that a top 21 block producer does in terms of governance? Is that the best person to be a top 21 block producer?
How much governance support does Binance provide for us?
Well, right, they shouldn't be in the top 21.
So it's relative, right? So but here's the other thing. And then what about drawing a distinction between being a standby block producer versus a top 21? So there's different function. But as for example, Frank from Pizza BP, I interviewed him recently, and he's been accused of having a sock puppet BP because he's not a true BP in some people's eyes.
Right.
His response to that, it's there on video. I'm really happy he kind of brought it up. I didn't bring it up, so it's good on him for being willing to talk about it. But he's like, I was OG, he was there on the call, go, no go. Like, he's a guy totally into the community. Yet he, of all the guys, who's built built Pizza.finance, is like one of the first DeFi on EOS, airdropped pizza tokens to all Genesis holders. He still gets accused eventually of having a sock puppet BP. And meanwhile, it's like a whale wanted to support him, so he worked it out and got it standby BP, and he was getting paid. And that payment of a standby BP helped him build an app or a DApp on EOS that is a good DApp. Like, there's a ton of great, I was shocked with actually the swaps you can do on his, I had a hard time getting some EOS tokens, and they were all on his interface. So it's like, I think the idea of becoming a standby BP and collecting rewards and building then with those, maybe you don't have the greatest infrastructure ever, but maybe you don't need to be a top 21 to still be a valuable member as a standby to use the funds to build on EOS.
Yeah, the question is, then everyone individually needs to ask themselves, should the standby BPs have the intention should they have the intention of becoming a top 21 BP or not?
I think every BP probably wants to be a top 21 BP though.
Yeah, I just wanted to say who doesn't want to?
No, but should you?
As
Should
long as
you?
as long as you can turn on the infrastructure when you need it.
Well, it's
Make sure that
no,
you're there.
what inspired me to become a BP personally is that it's a permissionless system where if you believe you can give value to the system on top of doing what's required that the chain requires you to do as a BP, then more power to you. Let that be in the token holder's hands to decide if that's valuable to them or not, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anybody can pursue, right? It's permissionless. It lets anybody with an idea, anybody with an ambition, go for it. And then depending on what they can produce is then voted on based on the token holders, you know, what they see in your organization and what you're doing for them.
Right.
What I like,
And
and what I really like about Wax specifically is that they have something called the Inspector General Report, where it gives you like a set of guidelines, like the 10 commandments that you have to abide by, and you have to produce X amount of value within each of these categories. And it really structures out a really well-balanced, like, are you doing well with engaging in the community? Are you doing well with engaging in creating products for the ecosystem? Are you doing well in, operating the infrastructure required that a BP actually requires to operate, to produce the blocks and maybe produce history for the history solutions and whatnot. And they break it up into 4 categories. And I really think that that's a good template for when you think of what is a good BP or what you should strive for, should you strive for. And those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think the basic idea is great, but it also has pros and cons. Absolutely. I mean, three people deciding about all that.
They're referencing to all that because it's actually the Wax team that decides it. The Wax team has the oomph with the weight of the tokens, and they just use this guideline as a structure that they vote on based on the report because it's a third body.
Yeah,
so
sure,
if they strayed the path, this IG, and like they put in things that the Wax team doesn't like, they don't actually have to vote on the IG report itself.
Sure. But it's depending on your point of view, it's more centralized than other solutions.
Yes,
I would say
the decentralized conversation, I believe it is much more centralized in decision making and who is the order of, operators.
Yeah, but
there's certainly no doubt in my mind, talking and listening to Dan over the last few years, there's no doubt in my mind that if he had to do it all over again, he would have he would have designed the DPoS governance slightly differently than it turned out, and he would have put in a few different lines in the algo, to change that. And credit to some of the other ESIO chains that have taken the basic structure and have modified it and have improved certain things in certain areas, in my opinion. And so the best of all worlds would actually be to probably take all the top 4 or 5 ESIO chains and take the best of the best out of all that and create a new chain. Then we, sort of ESIO 2.0. That would kind of be an interesting exercise.
Will probably not happen.
Yeah. How could you credit the tokens? That'd be confusing.
No. Yeah. What I was just getting at is just taking lessons learned, right? Because all this is new to everybody. 4 years ago, they had a different understanding that they do today. The sort of the master level designers like Dan, right? If he'd known what he knows now,
I don't know. I would push back on that because if you read the original Constitution, they're aware of all the problems with DPoS. They've been known since BitShares. The original Constitution was an attempt to create a social contract that would solve those problems. But when the Constitution was rejected by the community, and we're like, oh, it's just code is law, we're just going to figure it out. It's like, well, now we're going to go through all these other problems that all these other DPoS chains have already had, right? Yeah. And we're finally getting back up full circle, back to where we started right now.
A lot of these things were foreseeable, absolutely.
Well, okay, so, but just to round off that one point, if you had to start with a blank piece of paper today, wouldn't it be reasonable to say that you would kind of cherry pick some of the best features of all these 4 or 5 top projects out there and kind of assemble it into one new sort of super ESIO chain structure? Wouldn't that be a reasonable exercise to do at this point? I think it would be.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, it's always nice to be able to pick and choose what you think is better, but I think, you know, we have a good foundation to work from, a good community and everything. So I wouldn't trying to make another chain and convince people that it's better than these other chains. I think it'd be a huge challenge to build the network effect and everything.
Oh, right. Yes, no, I wasn't actually. This was more of a rhetorical exercise. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
Ray, you're
wasn't
talking
a
to a
proposal.
bunch of you're talking to a bunch of realists here, Ray. But,
Yeah, no. I apologize if I was not intending to imply that we should do this. I was just saying, wouldn't it be interesting?
Yes,
to have a
yes.
yeah. So it was more just philosophical wandering, speaking out loud than anything.
You know, what's exciting to me actually is seeing the Clarion team, especially Todd was posting like prototypes that he's built of like improvements to EOSIO.
Yeah.
And these are things that we've wanted for years, but like could never get attention of the developers to like add in. And it's like now that they are down on the ground building stuff on chain with us, they're like, oh, we definitely need to have this. And we're like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you give an example, John?
Just he built this prototype for contract pays where it allows the contract to pay for resources on behalf of the user without a co-signing server. And we actually built a prototype for that last year, but there was like one feature that we needed that wasn't included in the core contract in order to make it happen. And you know, now Todd actually built a prototype with that change, you know, to enable it because they're trying to figure this out, like with the Eden dashboard and everything, right? So it's just great to see progress being made on that front.
But your point is very well taken. They're finally having to eat their own dog food.
Yes.
And so they're like, oh my goodness, these guys have been struggling with this for the last 3 years.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, you mean we didn't think of that over at B1? Oh, geez, yeah.
And I wrote this.
These poor plebs have been having to work around this. I mean, look at Greymass. Poor old Aaron and his team had to build everything from scratch that they didn't have. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like now our problems are their problems. So it's
right,
great to see.
Right. No, I love it. And I got to say, I'm very optimistic about the whole, this what I call like the revitalized ES community now. It reminds me a lot of like back in 2018, that level of energy. We've come full circle, and I'm excited getting up in the morning now about living and working in this community because things are going great. I'm really stoked about the way the direction that we're heading. So, yeah.
We just need the token price to feel the same way Ray does.
I have a question.
That minor detail.
When creating an Eden profile, do I have to use an image of my real face, or can I use my Twitter profile that I use everywhere, like a PFP, kind of like an NFT style that I use custom? That's my own avatar.
Oh, I think you have to use your real
real face.
Of you.
Yep.
Yeah, real face.
And can I leave if I don't have a good image that I want to use now? Can I just click check mark, say it's centered, but then change the image later? Or is this a one and done? You cannot change after you choose.
You can change it up until after you've paid your 10 EOS, or up until prior to paying the 10 EOS. But if we all endorse it and then you go back and change your picture, we have to re-endorse it. So ideally you put a good photo in there before.
Okay, well then I'm going to grab a photo right now.
But there's no rush. You've got a pending invitation now. So your pending invitation, if I don't know when Eve is doing his count, but if whatever, you've done everything you can do to get it to count for that. You just now need to get this whole thing done prior to October 8th at 9 in the morning Eastern, so you can opt into the election. So you got a few days.
Okay. All right then. Thank you. I'll wait till tomorrow morning to get my headshot then.
Does that mean if we create like 100 fake invites, that Eden gets
Yes.
200 more EOS for
Yes.
every fake invite?
It totally means that. It's crossed my mind, but it seemed wrong, so I didn't suggest it or do it.
Yeah.
But we could have made a shit ton of fake invites. We could have 1,000 fake invites, and they would
Dodgy
just
fuckers, the lot of you.
they didn't do it just because we
Oh,
thought.
Yeah, Chris, what they don't know won't hurt them, right? I mean, it's just it's just taking a snapshot.
It's
just
snapshot of, yeah, but then you see who did all these, because the inviter,
I'm
it'd
sure
show
there
up
will
on
be
chain,
zero
right?
consequences to that.
Yeah, sure, but that's potentially a good reason for someone to vote for my proposal. If I go into the Eden discussions and tell everyone, hey, I invited 10,000 fake users to get to get 2 million more EOS or whatever.
Vote for me. I'm more creative than everyone else. Yeah.
Totally.
I brought the EOS here. Give me half of them for my project.
Therefore, they belong to me. Ergo.
Why only 10,000? Why are you making 10 trillion?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Just totally drain the foundation's budget. Just right
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, and
It's like random algorithm name selection.
Dude, the developers have the dirtiest minds always.
I will not do it. I will not do it.
That's
No, of course
obvious. Surely Corbin and myself aren't the only ones who thought of that. It crossed your guys' minds too.
I don't know if I can take it upon myself to shift gears here to another topic, but I'm gonna. I'm just wondering real quick. I've had an idea percolating for a while now of a sort of an NFT federation, but be a little bit bigger than that. So I'm thinking of call it the Great EOS Hunt or Scavenger Hunt, where you onboard people to the network and you give them rewards for just accomplishing tasks. So you go to Nudex and you purchase anything, and you automatically get a generated NFT from that. You transfer a token of anything, and you can only do those things once, right? So you can only do something new once. So everybody who's in the federation, say every EOS, Eden, Eden represented DApp or individuals or whatever. Say you create a new wallet, create an account on Graymass, and right away that that account comes fresh with a new NFT for that accomplishment, right? Or you do anything on any Eden federated DApp, and you get an NFT for it. There will be a list of different things that you can accomplish, and part of it would be the main purpose of it would be to bring new users to the network and educate them on what the network can do. So it would be about bringing them on, giving them just a list of tasks that they can accomplish. And if they were to accomplish those tasks, they'll get a cheesy little NFT. Now, those NFTs could then be burned. Say somebody collects 10 of those NFTs and burns them all, and then they end up with something actually worthwhile, which could be, say, a discount or a free play or an NFT on a game, an Eden federated game, or anything like that. I'm just wondering if anybody has had that idea or something similar to it, where like Xbox rewards. You just go through and you check off a bunch of different things, but with this, all these cheesy little rewards, like it could be the cheesiest little 2D NFT that these people win, but then they could go to Atomic Hub and trade, sell that or trade that or unload it. Somebody could collect a bunch of them and burn them for an actual beneficial NFT, an NFT that could help them in a game or in DeFi or something like that. And then it would create a demand for these things, and it would create people just, going and doing more and more. And I know that we're going to get botnets working that, but
Yeah,
I'm just wondering.
I just wanted to say that the basic question is always identity or no identity. If
Yeah.
there's no identity, it's always the same. If the value you earn is bigger than what you spend, people will write bots, and they will bot the hell out of it until there's no value left.
That's what I was thinking of, just keeping
you
it
don't have-
within Eden.
Yeah, but then the intent of onboarding a massive amount of users, I don't think mass adoption will happen through Eden.
Yeah.
Eden is a government tool. And yeah, the price to get into it is already pretty high. I mean, I like all these gamification ideas, and yeah, bringing people to networks through gamification and incentive motivation. But if there's no bot protection in place, it's really the rule is that simple. If the value
What
you
if,
earn is bigger than what you spend, people will write bots.
I should say it's a solid idea, though, Chuck. I do like the idea.
What if there's some way for like identified users to vouch for unidentified users, or like I can invite, or 100 people can use like my invite link, and if those users that use my link or that I brought in are found to be abusing, then like I'm not allowed to bring in any more people or something like that.
Yeah, but who's the next one who's allowed to invite another 100 people?
Maybe like every Eden member has 100 invites.
Yeah, I think
Or stopping everyone sharing that link as well.
That would at least shrink the number of bots, probably.
I think you would share it, like the idea would be that as an Eden member, you would share it with people that you know are not going to abuse the system. And if someone were to share it, or if someone, you would want to protect that link, because if someone got a hold of it and was a malicious user, then your account could get banned.
Okay. Yep, that's a great idea. But how about this one? What if you treat it more like a Boy Scout merit badges, right? That as you go up through the ranks, you collect more and more of these things. As you go through the ES community, you get all these NFTs, and it's just they're truly non-fungible. Maybe they're just badges of honor.
And
badge of honor.
Like non-transferable tokens, right? Just badges.
Yeah, they're just you go through and look, I've collected 12 of these things. Yeah, wow, that's cool. Oh, this guy's got 15, right?
Yeah.
And so it's almost more just like maybe you don't sell them, you don't convert them to anything, you just keep them as a badge of honor. I love the underlying premise, because you know what it's all about? It's about using the network. Utility of the network is what is going to ultimately drive the success of this global network, is using it. And Chuck's idea is fantastic, because it makes people go out and start to use it. And as a motivational tool, it's an excellent one. I like it a lot.
I don't know how many of you are playing Blankos, right? But they've got some brutally, I mean, the challenge is the play to earn that they have. It takes fucking forever, right? And you have to have a lot of patience. But the NFT, the character that you get out of it at the end, like they're selling for $1,000 right off the bat, right? The amount of time that you put into these things, and again, if it was time, just like Corvin's saying, a botnet is just going to eat that up. They'll do whatever they do to make those rewards, right? But if you could somehow identify real usage or something, I don't know what it would be, but anyway, the Great Hunt or the Scavenger Hunt, the Great EOS Hunt, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, basically, I like that. I like badges or this motivation through being honored for something. Absolutely. But I always try to look at the problems, typically botnets.
You always try to ruin other people's dreams.
Yeah, come on, you realist.
Mm.
Come on.
No, I mean, I'm working on play to earn games. I'm
Man.
thinking about this all the time, really. Yeah, I was waiting for voice for so
Yeah.
long because I always thought that voice accounts will be connected to EOS mainnet, and then you have a proof of identity because it would be the solution, the best solution.
Oh, it would have been absolutely phenomenal. I was so
I don't
frustrated when that happened.
I don't think it will come. We will potentially build our own identity solution, similar to what Pomelo does, where you connect your social accounts through OAuth, and then you get a specific rating, and it's for sure a centralized service which will check these accounts, but at least there's someone checking them with motivation to check them. We don't want bots in our games. And yeah, then if you connect your Twitch and Steam and Facebook account, you get a rating that allows you to play game A or game B. And yeah, I think that's a possible solution. I mean, it works for Gitcoin and it will probably work for Pomelo. Yeah, identity as social interactions. Yeah.
And Chuck, and on your NFT idea, would that be something good for like to open it up for the bees, like that initiative to encourage people to get more people engaged in EOS?
Yeah, it would. Anybody who had any DApp or anything of note could build an NFT. You know, could put forth a piece of art which could easily be made into an NFT. You know, and it could just be their badge for their, you know, visiting their DApp and just performing one action, and you earn that NFT. You know, just something simple, all the way up to something really nice. You know, I just market bought 10,000 EOS worth of some token, and there's my badge for it. You know. Anyway.
Just to button up that last piece, Corvin, is there a way to would there be a way to accumulate however you want, but when you go to actually liquidate it, when you go to turn it into usable, fungible something or other, you have to prove where you got it?
I don't understand the question.
In other words, so that to avoid any bots going around and, you know, bots going out and accumulating hundreds or thousands of these badges, is there a way that the only way it would become of any value to sell in the future is when you went to sell that for 10 EOS or something, you had to prove that it was you that got it somehow. You just have some sort of...
Yeah, sure. It's always a question of proof, and proof of identity especially is very, very hard. Very hard.
Yeah, so there might be a way to do that. Maybe through like Violet Garden.
Yeah.
you could prove
Maybe.
that you're
I think one other possible solution for identity is on-chain proof of social interactions.
Yeah.
If you have an account which is used for a year, and an account which uses Violent Garden, which uses whatever shit game, which uses some DeFi,
you can't fake.
then you can fake it, but it's hard to fake.
Very hard. I'm sorry. Very hard.
It's expensive to fake.
Right.
So proof of kind of proof of historical records which define your identity through the interactions you did on the chain is also something possible, I think. But it's a question of how many transactions you need or you want to have as a proof, how, for which time span, which debts count, which not. In the best case, you do that with accounts connected through different blockchains. I mean, an EOS account connected to an Ethereum account or a Wax account or whatever, that should also count. Why not?
Yeah.
It's interactions. It's transparent. It's on chain. No one can fake it. I
In
think
your-
long
gaming-
term,
In your gaming environment, are your tokens going to be fungible? Will somebody be able to earn real equivalent value?
we will
Or will they-
we will have in-game currency, and in our first game, literally every asset is an NFT.
Okay. So, do you have any plans to do a reporting out on any external value that's realized from that? Any capital gains that a user would realize? In other words, will a user realize any capital gains from using your product?
Yeah.
They will. So at some point you'll be required.
Sure.
You'll be in order to help out your users, you'll want to give them a report at some point in the future on what their gains might be.
Yeah, we potentially have to build something like that in the future. Yeah.
In the future, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing the same thing as Uplift, where they have an in-game currency that cannot go inside the game. You can convert the currency into an NFT that can then go outside the game. Is that kind of your model?
Most of what Uplift does is there someone in our call from Uplift? No, right? Most of what Uplift does is completely centralized. They are running Minecraft servers and stuff like that and selling assets that you can use within the game. But there's no proof. It would probably take me 2 hours to have the same assets in the game without buying them. That's centralized. There's no proof of gameplay that's decentralized. So without a proof of play, you can't have play to earn. I mean, whenever you want to earn something through gameplay, there's someone or something that has to give out the currency or the new NFT.
No, they have that. You walk around in Uplift and you earn wax tokens.
Yeah, there's probably a centralized server behind, which sends out tokens to users, and they decide. It's not the chain and not the smart contract which decide. Also, one thing we want to do different. All we do is completely on chain.
Yeah, that's true.
It
is
I don't
totally
want
centralized.
I don't want to speak bad about Uplift. I like every, or at least 90% of the today's games and solutions. But I always think we can do better. We really can and have to do better. I mean, what are we creating with companies like Uplift? Michael is for sure, Michael and Blue,
Corey.
for sure, they're for sure good guys. But what if they at some point have monetary problems? What if they are sued for something also? They would create tokens and send them to their own accounts because they have full control. So we are creating the next companies which are at least able to fraud us and to fool us. There's nothing better except that we have digital currency stored on a blockchain instead of stored on a centralized server with the rest.
I think there's less demand for it to be totally decentralized in the gaming and NFT communities than you see like in the DeFi communities where people are much more strict about it. And I mean, like, I think like Axie Infinity, for example, is still very centralized and their own Coinbase, and they're huge, right? So.
Yes, but I think with Axie, the difference is that everyone thinks it's decentralized. They have their own.
I don't know.
They have their
pretty...
own proof of authority chain with 5 producers or something like that. They have the full power, but people think it's completely decentralized.
I don't think people care. I mean, from the interviews that I've seen and the podcasts and things like that, like it doesn't seem to be a huge concern for people.
I think John's right. I got the same impression with the research I've done. People don't care. Most people don't care.
Yet.
But why is Axie then worth so much more than other games, which are less decentralized?
I mean, it's because of the tokenomics and because of marketing, and they have a large network effect.
Yeah, they got on 60 Minutes.
The biggest
like
reason,
they're supporting a whole like city in South America.
Vietnam, right? or not?
Hmm?
Vietnam or
I
not?
mean, Philippines. Yeah, sorry.
Philippines. Yeah,
Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah.
Yeah, that story
Yeah.
came out and they blew up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot is the network effect and tokenomics, but I'm also pretty sure that most of it is most of the game mechanics and gameplay is at least on the blockchain. I mean, it's for sure not a decentralized blockchain, but
right. But look at NBA Top Shot. Like,
yeah.
John's totally right about that.
Anyways, I believe 100% I wouldn't build this company if not that there will be demand in the future for completely decentralized games.
It's going to require a crisis. There's going to be a black swan event. It's going to happen.
That's correct. Yep, I agree.
I don't know.
But there's other features. If you're decentralized, like you're saying, you could do things that the centralized players cannot.
Yeah.
So I would, I'm a marketing guy, so I would lean on your features that your decentralized model can give your users rather than just saying it's decentralized. It's just my 2 cents.
Comment from the chat from Waxa. Fully on-chain offers much more opportunity for value growth and long-term security. It's the future of on-chain use. Just throwing that in there.
I'm absolutely sure about that from my perspective. I'm also sure there will be cases in the future where projects and companies will misuse the power they have, especially in the blockchain case, in the blockchain space. They will print millions of tokens just for their personal benefit. Print tokens, dump them on the market because they can, because they have the power. And then people will start to see, hey, we need to have proof of play. And having a company that has full control is a bad idea because it's not better than a bank printing money.
It seems logical, but
I mean, there are already things going on that most of the people don't know. Alien Worlds on Wax, currently like 350,000 users a day, most of them bots. Okay. When they did the partnership with Binance, they changed the smart contract, and Binance is getting like 400,000 Alien World tokens a day for nothing. They are printing tokens for Binance. They are directly going to Binance just for this partnership. I mean, there was a huge benefit. The price was growing through this partnership. But
but Corbin,
is that correct?
People don't care though.
Not yet. Not yet. They will care once Binance dumps all the tokens onto the market.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they would care if they would know.
Right. Some don't know, some don't care, and then some will care on the back end. When as long as price go up, everyone's happy. But as soon as there's a massive, liquidation event and everything's gone, then suddenly they'll care. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's risky, but thank you for sharing that, Corbin. I didn't know that.
We will see if these ideas will work out or not.
Right.
We will see. Yeah.
It's the life of the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Is demo or something, or a link to try the game?
Sorry?
Is there a demo link or something to check out to try?
We have a running demo, but I would have to invite you. I have to create an account for you. But the next demo that we will start will be public. The last one was private. The next one will be public. So
It's,
If you
take a
want-
swing at it.
hopefully you will see it on social media and stuff like that.
Well, you could, if you wanted a limited beta test, run it through the Eden members group, and then just have a controlled environment
Yeah.
where, just trusted people hammer it for you and give you feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last demo was with like EOS.io all stars, part of the community for the last 4.5 years or so. To get developers into the space and
Yeah.
people which are here for the long. And the next one will just be public. It's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
How long have you been working on your game?
Oh, I started the first prototypes 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, yeah. But they were completely different and far away from what we've built in the meantime. And then I've built a prototype for the Dev Network Hackathon in 2019, end of 2019, and made the 3rd place. And we started the company in January this year. And
Are you self-funded?
Yeah, completely. And said now we want to make it a real product and a real game. So I would say the last of the last 2.5 years, 1.5 years were just trying around, finding solutions, gaining experience, and the last year was really active development and with the goal of an end product.
So Wax doesn't provide funding, the Wax network? Do they have
We haven't asked for it.
They do have such a thing, though? They have a developer?
Yes, they do.
They have, but we haven't seen a reason to get funding.
Gotcha.
So far. We will potentially apply in Pomelo, participate and see if we can get some funding. But so far there was the NFT hype, and very quickly many companies just sold NFTs and then slowly saw in the following weeks that they have no idea how to build games, and that they have no idea how to build games on blockchain. And these companies were our typical customers the last 10 months, and that's how we made money to build our team and our software.
Big services, yeah.
And I feel great doing it like that, because it feels a bit like the Robin Hood style, taking the money from those who took the money from the community, and that way driving back the value. And yeah.
Well, plus I would imagine that you were paid for development, and a few of those widgets you're able to use in your own work. That's kind of smart.
Sure.
Why not? Why not? Self open source. That should be a term. I have to trademark that. Self open source.
I also wanted to show that you don't have to get $1 million in funding from somewhere to fund your own company. You really don't have to.
No, I want 30 million to buy a domain. That's what I want.
Yeah, but I mean, what happened to these good old days 30, 40 years ago, where people were just working hard to build something?
Saving.
What's the problem with working hard and having a bit less money for a specific amount of time?
The problem is working hard today means you're competing with endless money printers that push a button, and that's the amount of effort they have to put in to then outspend you to build anything.
Yeah,
that's part of it. But they don't have your talent. You know, to your point, Corvin, the way to become good at something is you have to work at it. And the only way to work at it is you have to roll up your sleeves and spend long days, long nights, and you got to work. You got to grind it out. People who try to take shortcuts, they never make it. They flare up, and they make a lot of noise, but the ones who survive, in my experience over the last few decades in this in this work is the ones who survive are the ones that put in the time and just keep grinding it out. So I agree with you. I think that's the way it should be done.
I mean, money is for sure also a part of it. You have to pay your employees, and there should also always be some form of compensation for work. That's normal and that should happen. But I'm really not a fan of how this startup scene works today.
Yeah.
I'm working in the startup scene for 4 or 5 years, and it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how it works on other places in the world, but in Germany, I've worked for different startups, and it was always the same. Some founder which had some idea went to a VC. They literally threw €500,000 or €1 million at them, and in most of the cases, the founder had no idea on how to start a company, how to lead teams, how to build a real business. But very quickly, they had €500,000 in return for 60% of the company or so. And then it takes a year until they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, people don't know what they are doing. And they don't even have the right motivation to make their hands wet and dirty. They already have the money. They have more money they ever had. So motivation to really build something is lost. And that's, yeah.
That's the key. The motivation to be lean and mean and run a very tight ship only comes from austerity. You can ask Aaron about that. Ask Aaron about austerity for the last 3 years. He'll tell you. Having to run on a shoestring budget and get all this stuff built. Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah, I totally aligned with Corvin on the fact that if you want to succeed now with a startup, you have to very doing your things and thinking why you are doing your things. Because I am based in Switzerland, also as fast as Germany, the incubators there. You have people, they will receive 150K because they have just convinced a bunch of VCs that your idea is fucking great, but indeed your idea is just not polished. You have not made some iteration. You have not made any prototyping, anything. You are just selling something on the paper, on sheet paper, and after that you have VCs that are convinced of your idea because you are a smart guy, able to be very soft skills. You express very well, and you make some false expectation on your real behavior. You are playing a game like a movie star, a kind of movie star, and you are not you are not telling the truth. So you are totally denaturated. You are not stating the things with the truth. You are just playing for those VCs and make them happy. So that's what I was experiences in 2016, 17, when I was very stupid and very totally bastard, because I want only to have the money before to have made my proofs and something. And I was going into this way. And when that's begin with November 2017 and February 2018, I was thinking, okay, now I want to do really in my life something that I love and that I know what I do. And during the entire year of 2018, I was able to answer just to the question, what I do, the what I do, but not really the why. So when you can answer definitively what you do the things and why you do the things, you are very quiet, because you know whatever happens you will do. And the money, more I go forward, more I see that just as a compensation of your deserved work. We don't have to win, but we deserve to win. That's totally different. We don't have to win. We just deserve. That's another, I would say, picture of what we are doing here now, just now, and not in 1 month, not in 2 months, or in 1 year, just now, what we are doing now. So we have just to be in the now and do what we are doing. When you see Brandon Fancher from Clarion team, he's fucking focus on Eden OS operating system for Eden on EOS, and he's doing beautiful interface, beautiful things. That's the better DApp currently using EOS mainnet, for sure. That's the better DApp, the mostly decentralized DApp that I have experienced. So for me, as a software engineer developer, like Corvin also, so it's clear we can do beautiful things, but if we think about the money, we will never achieve beautiful spaceships with beautiful
Honestly,
stars.
I already feel like I won, even without having earned $1 million or something like that this year, just because I was able to work with cool people on cool things all the time.
Voila.
Bringing the visions down onto the display. That's
exactly.
So
That's
much,
all that
so
matters
much.
at the end of the day. That's all that matters. Working on a fun project with good people. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm
That's
here.
worth so much more than I earned the last years.
Yeah,
I mean,
because you
my
are enriching your mindset each and every day.
Yeah.
You are becoming more rich in your heart, your soul, and your mind. You are becoming a better human. You are improving each and every day. It's a perpetual improvement. No dates, no fucking dates, because the dates, that's fucking. Just having a good strategy, a good vision, and do things.
Passion.
Yeah. That's the passion, exactly. But it's not an unthinking passion. It is not an unthinking passion. It's a passion that's going from your heart. And then your soul, your mind. But you are not stupid. You will do the things intelligently, because we are now into the collaborative ecosystems for sure. We have Eden on EOS. We have Pomelo. We have the EOS Foundation into the middle. We have the EOS Bees. We have EOS Starter. We have EOSaccount.io by John Eater. We have now Violet by John Williamson. So we have different collaborative, let's say we have different ecosystem, and they become collaborative between them. But the beauty, we can already collaborate between us into Eden on EOS. And we can create beautiful dApps like Violet that are using the Eden account of the community, because we will transact between us with the EOS currency into Eden on EOS, like in Venezuela with Maurice Vanegas with EOS Marketplace, EOS Microloan. They have not wait on Eden on EOS. They are transacting between the people already with dollar EOS. Okay, dollar bill, dollar EOS. Okay, so they are already doing human-generated finance, because they have understood, because they are into the shit, they are into the struggles. And now more we are going, more we will understand when that will come to us. I am in Switzerland, I am also into the shit. The people are thinking, oh, he's in Switzerland, so he should be a rich guy. He can put his love money. No, because I am connected.
No, I always say that about you. I always tell everybody you're rich and you're just giving us the hobby.
There are people that are telling me, Patrick, Nova Crypto, if you Nova Crypto, you are doing love money, you do your workshops, you do all that, but you are not paid. And I said, I fucking don't care. I am doing what I want to do. Next year, I continue to do. If it is not succeeding this year, what does it mean? That will not succeeding next year? And what is success? I feel me already successful in all cases, like the Corvin. like others that are very passionate, because we are doing something here. If tomorrow I die, we will all die for sure. But if tomorrow I die, I have no regrets because I am doing what I love and I will do until I die for sure. So that's the beauty. You are doing something fucking great by being into EOS, Everyone Open Society, or like you want to call it. But for me, it's clear. Now with Eden on EOS, we are an Everyone Open Society, but that doesn't mean it is totally open to everyone. That means it is potentially open with collaboration, collaborative ecosystem, and with some trust checking. And to be sure that the people will have skin in the game into Eden on EOS, it's not only about paying the membership, because you can pay 10 EOS. For me, that was nothing, 10 EOS. And what? And after, if
You
I
are
am a
rich.
bastard,
That's because you're a rich guy, Patrick.
yeah, I am a fucking
Patrick, I
bastard.
wish
But
you
you
were-
know,
I wish-
the beauty. I am in contact with someone in Venezuela, okay, or in Colombia. Very good guy. But if I say to him, you have to pay 10 EOS to go into Eden EOS, into Eden on EOS, he can't.
You can pay for him.
Corbin, have you looked at Huddle God, the game?
Has someone muted Patrick, or has he muted?
I think that was Chris.
Was it me? No, I did not. I let it, no, he muted himself. I
I'm
think.
joking, mate. I'm joking.
I wish Patrick would be. I wish he would be a little more passionate about the EOS community.
He's very passionate.
I love that guy, man. I love you,
Yeah.
Pat.
I think
Yeah.
one thing you guys were talking about, the difference between a VC interest in something and the difference between patronage. There's a lot of artists through history who would just be they would just be doing art all the time, no matter what economics came their way, right? And when a patron comes along that can say, here's enough money that you can live, and you can maintain your family, you can live well, or at least be comfortable and continue to do your art full time, but I'm not going to take a cut, or maybe you can do something, or put my picture in your painting or something. Those the VC paradigm is different from the patronage paradigm, and I think Eden is one of those. It's something that's going to help people to thrive without taking a cut of it.
Yeah, that's a really good
Yeah.
point. That's an excellent
I
point.
didn't wanted to say that everything going on in the VC space is evil, but I feel like it's unbalanced. It's too much into specific directions where people get ridiculous sums of money just for an idea without ever having worked hard for it.
That's right. And I think it will naturally correct itself, right? Because you can't have that sort of imbalance for long. I think we've seen last decade or two of just run up of these crazy investments. And you're right. I think we need to see a lot more sort of just hardcore development in the trenches and doing it for the passion of the game rather than doing it for raising a bunch of money. So,
Yeah,
Hey,
and
let's-
specifically in Switzerland, this is very scary because you have this crypto valley, very well known in Zug, okay, near Zurich. For the people of Germany, this is known. And there you have the Ethereum Foundation, you have the Tezos Foundation, you have the Cardano Foundation, you have the Bitcoin Foundation, you have the Solana Foundation, and you have not the EOS Foundation. Yoo-hoo! Because when you go there and you go as a Swiss-born guy like me and with a little Spanish blood in my blood, okay, and I go there to teach about EOS.io smart contract platform in 2018 into an incubator made of startups that have no clue. And you go there and you explain about EOS.io, open source software, smart contract platform, and you try to do a good meetup there to explain them. And they are only interested about Ethereum, about Cardano that will never scale. Maybe in 2200, we never know. Okay, so you are going there. You are doing your best job and whole, and you have a stupid question at the end of not of one participant, but of someone of a future VC that is maybe here for fund you, and he asks you, EOS as a foundation or not? And I said, surely never in Switzerland. Surely never in Switzerland, because EOS is decentralized. EOS is a DAC, a DAO that has from day zero that is supposed to become a decentralized autonomous corporation, or like you want to call it. And now we see that. We see that with all the projects that we are doing, that will become, we will have multiple DACs everywhere for EOSBs, possibly for EOS starter, there could be a DAC. For many projects that are ecosystem that are built now, they will finish with a DAC. When they will expand and scale, they will arrive to the conclusion they have to create a DAC. But that you will never see that into the other blockchains protocol, and they are all in Switzerland. Why? Because there is Davos, Forum Davos there, and they are going there to make lobbying and to have the most of the money. Now we have to speak the truth. It's finished to make the big smile and all, and no, now we have to speak the truth. That's the truth. And it is scary, very scary. So I am happy to be in Switzerland. Okay, it's very secure and all, but I am also sad to see Colombia and Venezuela as how it's going. Today, no WhatsApp, impossible to speak with the family there. We are in struggle when we are mastodon like WhatsApp, Facebook that are totally down.
It's working now, mate. It's working now. Well, did you recharge your batteries or something then, Patrick? Because you went off for about 10 minutes and then you come back full steam ahead. Thought your wife has sent you a bed or something. Patrick, he's gone again.
I'm just
I
trying.
agree with Patrick that we're at a scary point right now, and you can see with the deplatformings and the, everybody's moving over to other, YouTube alternatives. We have to find some way to harness that. We've got people scrambling to find some sort of decentralized outlet, right? And anyway, it's very scary for me to see information being suppressed, right?
That's why I want this Clarion up and running as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Urgent.
John.
I mean, I think Clarion is going to need a lot of work, like on the interface side of things, because there's already projects like Clarion out there that just haven't had a lot of momentum. They haven't had a lot of interest. So my concern with Clarion is like, what's going to make that
Different from the
extra
rest.
step? Yeah, what's going to make it stand out, I guess.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's a load of social media apps out there, but obviously we can make ours the best, and what's going to attract people to move over. And the decentralized, I mean, that's one part of it, being decentralized, and you can speak your mind without having to worry about obviously being stopped, and all the rules and laws of that Facebook have got to stop you and all the rest of them. But I just think there's a great opportunity there. And
there's one protocol called Secure Scuttlebutt, which is basically exactly the same in terms of architecture, like how the nodes connect peer to peer, and you only pass information to and from nodes that you specify and know of, and but the interface and the client applications for actually utilizing it and interacting with it are just pretty rough, pretty
has Dan
basic.
seen that one? I guess he's seen it, has he?
I mean, you would hope so.
Yeah, I just wondered, because obviously if that's already there, we should be looking at that to improve on it and see what mistakes it's made and what benefits it could have.
That was, yeah, I mean, that was my concern, is like, he seemed to gloss over a lot of other work that's already been done. A lot of very similar work that's already been done in that space that he's talking about. And just kind of making it sound like his idea is like way better than things that people have been working on for like nearly a decade. You know,
I guess
so
he knows that all. I mean, the Eden community will jump on it straight away, and probably a lot of the EOS community. So that's going to be quite a large amount of people straight away. But yeah, still not enough, as obviously Facebook's got probably billions of people using it. So it's got to be the big bang. What's going to pull them in?
I don't feel like Clarion will be the big thing.
No,
unfortunately.
You are a big doom and gloom man, aren't you? Nothing ever. No positivity.
it's just because me and Corbin are sitting here looking at code all the time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're not sorry. You're loving it.
In 1 year, Clarion will be ready in 1 year.
Maybe that comes when you live in this blockchain space where everyone is enthusiastic about every project all the time. Everything is the next big new thing. You at someday you start to look at these things from a different perspective. And yeah, maybe results in mostly speaking about the cons and not the pros. Because everyone else is speaking about the pros. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, John, that solution you mentioned earlier, Scuttle Bucket or whatever it's called, how does that work? Is it similar to what Dan was saying, that you invite your family and then they invite their friends and it sort of expands, grows that way? Is it similar to that? Or don't you know?
Yeah, it's like a pure peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
There's no central server, and you specify what nodes you want to connect to. Here, I'll read the overview from their webpage. Scuttlebutt forms a global cryptographic social network with its peers. Each user is identified by a public key and publishes a log of signed messages, which other users follow socially. Scuttlebutt searches for peer-to-peer mesh for new messages and files from followed users and from friends of friends. The messages and files are stored locally indefinitely for applications to read. So it's basically what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, I think someone needs to message him then, don't I?
Well, I mean, I just would assume, he wrote a blog post about like the similar projects out there and competing projects and stuff like that. And he did mention this in his blog post, if I remember correctly, but I think he really just glossed over it. Like, I think he wrote like a sentence about it, you know what I mean? And he just has this attitude of he's very dismissive, of things he hasn't built himself or whatever. So I don't know. I'm just saying like
me.
I'm just saying like there, you have to be skeptical. Like you have to be skeptical of this kind of stuff, and you have to look at things with a critical eye and ask questions and find the truth.
Yeah, there must be something that we can do to attract the masses, but what it is, it's just somewhere you can speak the truth and have a free speech and that type of thing is great. So that's what people want, but people won't move until everyone moves.
I think
but we are doing that. We are doing that now with EOSBs. We are speaking the truth. We are sharing the news.
Yeah. That's not a social media app.
Think about the iPhone. Okay, so like there were smartphones for a long time before the iPhone came out, but smartphones were always kind of just a nerdy accessory kind of thing. And iPhones were so popular that now everyone has a smartphone and everyone just thinks of a phone as a smartphone. Like it completely changed
Yeah.
the paradigm. And for a lot of people, a computer is just a tool to do work. Like they go to work and they work in a cubicle and they type on their computer and then
Yeah.
they go home and they just think of a computer as a work device, period, not for communication or entertainment or anything like that. But an iPhone is probably the first computing device that many people, or the first personal computing device that many people use for entertainment and for things other than work. And it actually like associated computing with like social media for many people for the first time. And so that all comes down to usability, period. And the usability enabled by the iPhone with like because it had some technological innovations that made it much more usable than previous smartphones. Like there's no stylus to worry about, there's no keyboard to worry about. It's very intuitive. And they had the multi-touch screen that they like patented, and it was like the most advanced multi-touch panel that anyone had ever used. So there's like, it's a combination of good technical innovation, which is like far and ahead of its competitors, and also strong software design, and combining that, the physical and the software together. So
It looked cool as well, didn't it?
do what?
It looked quite cool. That was the thing.
Yeah, it was
Also-
attractive, sexy. It's Apple's
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had the SPV. I don't know if it was like Windows Mobile. That was before.
Yep.
Yeah,
I had those
iPhone, that-
old Windows mobile smartphones.
Yeah. That was cool. Being the techie guy.
Well, I guess I'm saying is like Clarion, so let's say like Clarion has some crazy new technical innovation. It's like 10 times better than Scuttlebutt or anything that's come before it.
Right.
It also needs an incredible usability innovation, which is far and beyond what anything that anyone's used before. Like it allows people to connect in ways that they've never been able to connect before. And it has to be as easy, if not easier, to use than like existing platforms that people have used before. So like if it can do all those things, then
Yeah.
it can be huge. But otherwise, it's not going to make it.
Just run of the mill. So
Yeah.
do you think it will use the
I think
Dan Larimer's idea of which he actually patented for so you haven't got to worry about KYC. You can just use your space, the actual location.
That's
all the
not
information.
Dan's idea. That's Block One's idea.
Oh, I thought it was Dan's. Well, like, he patented it, didn't he?
What
He
is
patented it.
Block One's idea?
No, the proof of identity.
Yeah.
The voice.
I'm sure
identity.
Dan patented it. So it's
Be
so it's
one-
Dan's.
I think
That's
Dan
the idea
saw
of Dan.
the.
That's the idea of Dan.
I think the problem came from Dan, and together with Block One, they were working on the solution.
They have a sheepy's ID.
I don't think it was I think it's just a protective patent. It's not like an offensive patent. So like if Dan wanted to build something with that, that would probably be fine based on what he said about other things he did there.
Yeah. So if that was used, I think that would be a big bonus.
I don't think that's even built though. That's just an idea.
Oh, it's not even built. Okay.
That was just a patent.
Just a patent.
Exactly.
It's a-
And now
it's a start.
that he has the hands-free, he has admitted in the last AMA, Ask Me Anything call of last week or 2 weeks ago, fantastic epic call. He has admitted that now that he has the hands-free and no more with Block One, he is creating the voice that he would have always created with Eden on EOS, Clarion OS, Clarion platform, maximally decentralized communication platform with WebRTC and all this stuff. And you have John Williamson that come into the Ask Me Anything and say, I am justly now building. And just a couple of minutes after, you see Violet Garden. So that's beautiful. If now imagine you have an EOS phone an EOS phone in your hand, and into this EOS phone, you have the Violet Garden, you have the EOS accounts.io by John Eater, you have the other innovation, not from Block One, from us, the community, without to wait on Block One.
We ain't going to build new phones now, are we?
The phone, yeah, I agree. How to pay the funds, the phone, sorry, to have the phone. But we could go to Block One and say, hey, look, guys, we were successful with the community. We have successfully leveraged the EOS mainnet. Now, do you will hear maybe a little bit more us? Because Dan Larimer is still in contact with Brendan Blumer. I don't see them as enemies. They are sure in cordial contact. So imagine, Dan now is doing his stuff from his own inside. Brendan is doing his stuff on the regulation side with the profile and all. And us, the community, we are striving since beginning of this year, EOS as never. And now we are creating beautiful things. More and more the people will create on their own and don't expect anything from anyone else. They will be total independent and they will synergize when it is needed. So imagine you are able to make all in a box, EOS account, Violet Garden, and all this beautiful tool in one device. And you go to Block One or whatever, and you say, now you create the phone. You create the phone like the iPhone, like John was stating
Why
before.
do we need to make a new phone? Because Patrick, surely we don't need to do that. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to make a new device? We just need to access these great new beautiful tools and applications, and they should be available for any phone, shouldn't they?
Yeah, because if you are waiting on Clarion platform, that could take at least 6 months now to begin, because they are not totally begin. They are totally focused on Eden, the Clarion team, dev team. There are seven guys, included Dan Larimer. They are working
Dan's got quite a bit of more funding now, hasn't he, coming from the foundation?
They have nothing. Sorry, for the moment they are. You see the GitHub of Clarion. You are on the Git. You go on the GitHub of Clarion. You will see that the last commit or something like that was in April this year. After that, no more.
So
because they are very focused on Eden. And when Eden is okay, they will go back to Clarion platform. They will really begin the adventure. And that will take 6 months at least to have a first iteration, and let's say 1 year to have something very state of the art, not like a voice.
Not even then.
Coming now with a not beautiful website. Sorry, Violet Garden is it's incredible because a good software engineer, clear, you can do a beautiful UI and all. And you see this, voice NFT platform. Sorry, I prefer to stay into my own website and do an interface with the EOS Atomic Hub or with the Wax Atomic Hub, and using how his name, Bounty Block of I don't remember the name of the guy. Bounty Block, they have made interface to go with
Dimitri.
Yeah, well, with the Atomic Hub, and you go with the Pink Network with John, not John, sorry, another guy, very sympathetic guy, and you do your things, your stuff, and those guys are very oriented. They want to help you. They want to give you a push, and they don't speak about money. When you speak just 1 minute, they don't will tell you, oh, I have to make a bill or an invoice. They will don't go into this direction because they are totally here to help the community. That's the beauty. So for me, the adoption should come if we have the good tools, and then if we can all pack that together all in one into a beautiful device that anyone can use, like an iPhone. That would be the EOS phone.
What about in Venezuela and South America where they need a device which they can't afford that beautiful device?
Maurice Vanegas is buying the phones and then and all the EOS account. He buy all in advance and he give all that all the stuff, the material and the all the stuff from top down or bottom up. He give that into the hands of the people there. He has made also. Finca is a campaign with how you say, with animals and all and the farmers, and they can directly collaborate between them and all. That's named Finca Tree. That's just incredible, this stuff. But this man is rich. It's clear he has a lot of power, but he's using this power now with his block producer. He's using his power to reward back the movement, and he's re-injecting the money into the ecosystem, into the human finance. And voila, that's a beautiful block producer. That's a beautiful block producer, and he has beautiful tools and all. But not all block producers are like that. You have block producers, they are only producing blocks. They have a good infrastructure, and they are not here to
criticize that. We are also like that.
What have you? Do you guys? Like, I don't know if you guys following what's happening out in Venezuela, and all the businesses that are being set up through this system.
They are like with the SEC in US. There is in Venezuela, it's like the SEC in US.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Now they are in process to be recognized with their. In process, but at the same time that Maurice Vanegas is doing this, there are 3 people that are into jail.
Yeah, that's the bit I was
because
just
the
going to say.
government is thinking they are dealing drugs and marijuana and all this stuff, and that's not the case. That's not the case.
No, it's not because of that. It's not because of that. It's because they're running a business and they're trying basically they're running a business and they're trying to extort money from them. It's just the corrupt officials.
Official corruptor. Official corruption.
It's nothing to do with drugs or anything. It's just to do because they're making money, and they want to know how they're making money and have they registered the company correctly. That's what they're doing.
It's horrible.
What I was amazed about, what I was going to say was there's about 100 people turn up outside that jail for them people that are being put in prison. I don't know how long they've been in it, but it's got to be about a week at least, I should imagine.
And you have at the same time Maurice Vanegas that is receiving 100,000 prize from EOS Foundation, and he cannot be happy. He cannot be happy.
He can't. But he's got his lawyers working on it. So this is a major case. If we can beat that, they can win that case. Then sky's the limit. But
that will make a precedent. If it wins
definitely.
with that, we will say, "Oh, EOS is the blockchain for the people by the people," and that will be the slogan, the motto.
I'm wondering, is it the money they're worried about? Is it that, or is it the government trying to crack down on it? I don't know. I would have thought it'd be just the money side. They just wanted to talk money out.
And the beauty is not only Venezuela that is using EOS currency, EOS token as a currency, and all this stuff each and every day. This is also Colombia, Chile,
and Peru as well.
Yeah.
Now,
and maybe soon us, because we will be into the shit and we will have no other possibility to use that.
Maybe. Does anyone else who wants to speak?
Today, if I could use Violet Garden with the family of my wife into Colombia, that would be fantastic. But they are not yet in EOS. If they were already on EOS, we have a chance to communicate. But with WhatsApp,
I'd love to see it in Africa as well. I think there's some great opportunities out there.
I'd love to see it everywhere. Every small town, you know. Now, if you were to take
Yes.
Venezuela and reverse engineer it, and just imagine
Bien sûr, of course.
that just imagine that the Venezuela situation was an Eden initiative, right?
Exactly.
What would it have required? It would have been a bounty sort of thing. It would have been take this and go into your community, build accounts for people, show them how to use it, set up seminars, blah blah blah, do all that legwork.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up with what Venezuela is right now in a year and a half or whatever, however long he's been at it. But we can reverse engineer that and apply it to Eden, and then build a bounty system, system in Eden. So now, when I'm involved in a couple things in my community, just a small town. One of them is, one of them is food security, right? Just imagine if we had a bounty system in Eden that you go and you recruit people in your town, small communities. So you recruit town council, you recruit the fire department, you recruit the Veterans Association, Boy Scouts, anything, but
Totally.
just one at a time. Like you just go, if any Eden member chose one nonprofit organization in their town that they could go target and try to recruit and try to bring them on, right? I'm not talking about using the Eden process for governance for them or anything. I'm just talking about bringing them onto EOS, right? Because there are obvious benefits to using EOS, and the development is going to come out of those people coming on and expressing their needs. One of the needs for nonprofits is, Eden is a lovely idea for governance, but everybody's running on Robert's rules, right? Every organization runs on, everyone that I'm aware of runs on Robert's rules, where you have, it's just set governance, set meetings and everything, right? If they built a Robert's rules section into the Eden software, you could onboard every single freaking nonprofit in the world.
Wow.
And they wouldn't have to change their governance, right? It's just another, it's just another category for style of governance, right?
This is going to be your next election idea.
Well, it's not completely presentable right now, but I've got a food program here, distributing food to people who can't, and people who are shut in.
I remember your project with DAP Network,
like
with DAP account. Sorry, with DAP account. Yeah. Organic food, organic something. Yeah, I remember.
Your microphone's big.
That's a marketplace, but if you were to choose, if building smaller community organizations and onboarding them, for example, like down at the local pub or something, you could onboard everybody who plays darts down there, everybody who plays pool down there, and give them an Eden account, an EOS account. You could have, inside a year, you could have a global pool system, billiards, right? You could have a global tournament of handicapped pool player, not handicapped, but you could have statistics for all these people who were playing pool every week, right? But it takes the stuff that Venezuela has done. It takes starting small, right? It takes finding one organization or one business and going from there. And that's all we can expect. That's all we can expect any Eden member to do, is pick their favorite organization and pitch it to them.
I think beautiful with Eden on EOS, you can act at social level, technological level, social level, economical level, and technological level. So if you are good on these three layers, you can parallelly solve a lot of beautiful things.
Yeah,
by
it's
doing
all one account.
What exactly? The thing is, out in Venezuela, there's a massive demand for something because the inflation rate is 2,000%. People can't get finance to build to help themselves to create business.
The entire LATAM, entire Latin America, there is something to do.
Exactly, but in the like Western world, it's not going to be so usable, like so demanding. That we're not something we need urgently. Not yet. Not yet. But what Chuck is saying, we could use it in something in a different way, like maybe as like a charity or something. Like you're saying,
for example, in Switzerland, to do, for example, in Switzerland or in UK or in Germany, to do what we are doing now with Eden on EOS, that could take, don't take wrong, but that could take a lot of years, 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, in order that the people are changing, are their mentality shifted, totally shifted. There are not a lot of people that are their mentality shifted. And when I say shifted, I mean on social, economical, and technological, and they are thinking HSM, so heart, soul, mind, or something like that. There are not a lot of people that are thinking like this. But when you are going in Texas or in a little, I don't know, I was never there, but in little campaign, little town where all is knowing all, you are small tribes and you want to help each other and you have the trust into your blood because you were born there, your father was also born there, and the chicken were there, and the animals are there, and all. You are the Ingalls family. So
quite a community, isn't it? It's a community.
Voilà. But us in Switzerland, it's not like that. Each one is for his us. Each one want to do his things. Each one doesn't want to help any.
It's the same everywhere.
Egoist society. It's an egoist society, total. And now with this COVID, this is still more crazy. Meanwhile, you have Venezuela, Colombia, Chile, Peru, not Central America like Costa Rica, but really the Sur America and all that. They know that since they are born, they have to fight into the life. They have the haze wide open because they are in contact with the real reality, their reality.
It's a different world to us, isn't it? It's a different world.
A different world.
I'm going to just going to jump in here. We've got a new invite to do here. Adrian Capovilla has joined the call. He was just on Twitter. He was in the Eden chat, and maybe we can quickly bust this out. Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Chris. Hey, guys. Just let me know if you can't hear me. Thanks for the thanks for the quick invite to the Zoom chat. Yeah, it's just looking to get into Eden OS. Obviously, I've been following you guys all for quite some time. Genesis holder with EOS, and yeah, just looking to progress through the next hurdles for what I need to do to be part of the community.
Right on. Maybe tell us a little bit about yours, if you don't mind. This is ideally someone's got to vouch for you. I see you tweet lots, so I'm actually fairly comfortable to vouch for you. But if you wouldn't mind, just maybe a bit about yourself and what about the Eden process kind of has you excited and why you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I guess a little bit about myself. So I'm based in Melbourne, Victoria. So just in Australia, down the bottom. I do project management for a living. I've got a background in civil engineering. So unfortunately, I don't have a technical background with regard to coding or anything like that. So I'd love to help out where I can, but obviously that's my current barrier to entry. But I guess the flip side of that is project management is all about assembling an assortment of people and tasks at hand to achieve a common goal. So I think my skill set could be very valuable, for the community. And then I guess what excites me and what I really like about the Eden OS initiative is just the democracies of democracies. I think that Dan really just hit the nail on the head with, with his book and, spelling out just the issues with what we all perceive as the current democracy and how we can kind of put in a new system and then how that can actually be used in blockchain governance, because at the moment, obviously there's issues on every chain. So this is a step in the right direction, and to be part of that. And obviously, I love EOS. So to be part of that on a chain that I love in an ecosystem that I'd love to see grow even more. Yeah, I just want to be part of it.
Okay, good enough for me.
Sounds good.
Who wants to witness? I'll do the invite. We'll do a breakout room real quick. Adrian,
I'm happy,
we'll just
I'm happy to
bust
do
this
it.
out, and then I'll explain to you the process and get you in the hoops. But this way we can at least do this out of the way.
I'm here.
I'm happy
I'm
to do
here.
it if you want.
I have time.
Okay, Corvin, Mel, you're in. You piped up. Let me create a manual breakout room. Assign to Mel, Corvin, and Adrian. Okay, that should show up. If you guys want to hop over there, I'll meet
Then
you there.
I'm going to bed after this, so see you later, everyone.
Okay.
Hey,
All
Mel.
right, thanks, guys.
Okay, I will join that room.
Chuck, you are always in contact with the DApp network, DApp account, all this stuff, or
Not so much anymore, brother. I went back to, well, I was doing a bit of stuff off and on last year. But sorry, I'm not really in the loop anymore.
yeah. I was interviewing one time the guy of DApp account, Raman Bindlish, yeah. And the solution DApp account Gateway, DApp account to onboard without an EOS account, just with a phone number, and the default version is with a phone number, but you can also onboard differently.
Yeah.
When you have made the organic, I don't remember the
Organic
name,
community
but
market.
exactly.
Yeah.
OCM, yeah, exactly. You have use other things than the phone to make a user onboarding into your platform.
Yeah, it was just coming when somebody makes an account on the website
Voilà.
in the market. When somebody makes a new account, that automatically created a DApp account for them.
A social account with Google or with
No, just
okay, better.
yeah, just an account with OCM.
Okay, nice. So this platform exists always?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But now it's clear with hidden on EOS and all this stuff that's make maybe a pivot, not a pivot, but maybe, let's say, another thinking for your platform also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the beauty of this ecosystem. That's change always. But for a startup, it's sometimes difficult to create something because you have to be independent of the operating system, EOS, because that's change always. So you have to use middleware or APIs or like Diffuse or this kind of stuff. Otherwise, you code your thing and you have to redo maybe later on because of the change of the operating system. So that's the problem.
Yeah. Hey,
But
Dan?
I'm very happy to see the next election on the October 9 because that will give a lot of information. Yeah.
Yeah. It's exciting to see all the faces now when you go through the Eden list. They're all real people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. For me, it's normal that you show your face if you want to be accountable and doing your stuff. And for me, I don't see the problem to well, okay, maybe for some country it's difficult. Yeah, I can understand that Russia or Arabia and all this country, maybe that could be a problem, but I don't see that for us as a problem.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we got you now, Dan.
that will give a lot of data. I think a lot of data after the October 9. We will have a lot of data. The proposal they will be still into eoscommunity.org, and we can always going and see the proposals and thinking how we can synergize.
Yeah.
Because now it's a little bit difficult for some people maybe to see exactly. And what does it mean exactly? Yeah? To see how they can synergize, because synergy will come when you have make your own thing, and then you can connect with other thing. If you have not make your thing first, how you want to be at least independent, to have your freedom. But it's interesting because each one is seeing the things totally differently. There are people that are seeing that very oriented governance, playoffs. Others are seeing that after the fact as a collaborative collaboration into the yeah. Others that are only here for the. It's like the block producer. There are some that are only here to produce block. Others that are here to make education, workshops, all this stuff, creating tools, marketing, like a triangle, tooling, marketing, and infrastructure. That's make the triangle. And you have block producer. They are here just to. For me, I don't know what you think, but Binance, it's a Binance Smart Chain. That's nothing to do with the EOS the EOS.io ecosystem. Why this block producer is still here? For me, it should not be here. That's my point. I don't know. I don't know
I don't know if it's a belief, I would say, but I figured you got to stop using the word should in blockchain, because it's just, it either is or it isn't, right? And there's you know, there are ideals and everything, and that's a good thing, but you know, it just, and I hate using the expression "it is what it is," but in Binance's case, it is what it is, you know. And without I mean, if they have the votes, they have the votes, you know.
Yeah, but you know, let's say you are in contact with your like EOS Costa Rica. They are doing business. They are working with Northern Data. They are working with Shintai. Okay, and you are in contact with business customers that are asking to you, what is the advantages to go with the EOS mainnet?
Yeah.
And you explain them that you have 21 active block producer, and after the 21, there are the standby, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they ask you, but you want that we go with the EOS mainnet to make our proofs on chain as a settlement layer. And you have to explain them, yes, because the EOS mainnet is very resilient, because there is the most market cap. This is very complicated to hack. This is no single point of no single point of failure. All this stuff, you explain all that, and they ask you, but can you explain us why into the 21 block producer we see a block producer like Binance, that is an exchange, centralized exchange, that is working with a Binance Smart Chain that has nothing to do with the EOS ecosystem.
Yeah, I know.
How you explain that to a customer? It's complicated.
Well, just imagine, you know, a year or two or three down the road when when Goldman Sachs wants to be a block producer on EOS, right? Well, they're not
Goldman
a
Sachs?
technical, a bank, a big
Yeah.
multinational
Okay.
bank.
Okay. Okay.
Why? What incentive do they have to be a block producer? They.
If they are using they are producing block for the EOS mainnet, that's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Disneyland and all party. Okay, but if the block producer is coming into the produce, is figuring into the ranking on the EOS mainnet, but indeed he's doing nothing for the EOS mainnet.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
that's
justify that this block producer receive votes and block pay and all this stuff? I don't know. That's
I
very
think that
strange.
the whole point the whole point of this new reality of the foundation is to address that particular reality. Block producers produce blocks, and the EOS Foundation is going to find all the other value added business out there, and they're going to fund all the other things, and that's what we're looking forward to, is them finding all those value adders and funding them. And we don't need to expect anything out of Binance other than that they keep producing blocks, right? The moment they stop producing blocks, they're out.
That's a subjective measurement, and maybe I think we could always. It's not unreasonable to expect more. Like I agree with you. The job is producing blocks, but if it's possible to have a top 21 that do more, that's not a bad goal to shoot for. I see we've got a new face here, Dan Singjoy.
Hey, Dan.
Yes, what's up, Chris?
Hello.
Hey, Chuck. How's everyone doing?
Are you already a member? Or you get the background? You must be.
Yeah, I just did my induction today. You guys might know me as Dogman on Telegram.
Oh, yeah.
So
hello, Dogman.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Nice to see your face now.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody's face. Good to be here. What's that, Chris?
Right on. Happy to have you join.
Oh, right on. Yeah, cool. It's awesome to be here. I've been listening to all of these since you started doing them, and like watching and listening to everybody's content. So I appreciate it a lot. It's been awesome. And then it feels good to finally be in Eden and to see everybody and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. And thanks everybody for everything. Awesome work.
Great to have you, man. You do a lot in the community as well.
Yeah, thanks. And you too as well. I just did an induction with Vlad from Consortium, and we were just talking about you as well, Chris, during our talk. Yeah, he was asking me. He asked me if I. What's that?
I said that jackass Chris. I'm just kidding. Sorry. Shut up.
Right. Well, yeah. Vlad asked me if I thought that Chris was deserving of winning the election, and we had an interesting conversation. He just thought you're a big jackass. So.
Fair enough.
No, I'm just joking about that. I'm just joking about that. It's been really good.
Yeah. The election's going to be neat because it's luck, right? This is where you might think, I mean, objective or subjectively, you could say I've done a lot and I'm, really helpful for the community. But if I get teamed up in a room with Dan, that might be the end of it, because he might be the shoo-in, or just even John Williamson. I don't want to be in a room with that guy because his project's so good that it's going to be hard for me to not even vote for him. So that's what's cool about this whole process, right? There's no true incumbent advantage. I'm fully not, no guarantees as far as I'm concerned to myself to do well in this next one. It's still luck.
Yeah, it's super cool and super exciting. And then also Violet Garden looks awesome, John, too. So just awesome, really super impressive. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes too.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm keen on getting your feedback.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it very much.
Mr. Crypto Pillar, how's things? You're on mute.
Hey, buddy, how you going?
Good, dude. Just got another Aussie. to join the ranks. You guys are taking over slowly.
Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Got nothing better to do.
Mate, just come to the shops and saw Chris post on Twitter. Thought I'd join in the conversation and see what's going on.
Oh, you saw that on Twitter. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, we do this every Monday. It's like an open mic thing. It started 3 hours ago. Bit of a marathon tonight, but it's been good engagement. Lots of different people coming and going.
That's the time of a James Bond movie.
What's that? A movie?
No, the next movie of James Bond is about 3 hours.
Oh, James Bond. Yeah, this is slightly less exciting as James Bond's movie, maybe, but you know.
No, I don't really go see, but I heard this is about a 3 hour movie. So, yeah. I prefer to be here with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
back to what you were saying about Binance. I completely
Right.
agree with you that we're in a transition between now we're going to start to notice who is the value add top 21. And that's going to matter.
I wanted to add something to the Binance discussion. I won't say I'm sure, but I personally expect a lot of these exchanges to lose a lot of value and liquidity over the next half year. I mean, what the US and Europe do with crypto exchanges, it's like slowly shutting them down. And once that happens, probably Binance will lose a lot of the stake they have the power over. And hopefully someday they are not able anymore to vote themselves in. And like the power of the current cartel hopefully shrinks.
100%, especially Bullish, right? Bullish is going to collect a lot of tokens. So
Yeah.
What are they going to allow token holders to vote? Because that functionality is there. Generios wrote kind of like a copy paste, from what I understand, that whatever, I don't know how it would work, but apparently they wrote something that exchanges can use to allow token holders to vote.
Yeah, but I honestly don't want to rely on Block One anymore.
Oh, not rely on, but in terms of like breaking the stranglehold that exchanges have over the network, it would be a pretty sweet thing to see.
Sure.
May not happen.
Sure. But I personally don't plan with Block One doing anything anymore. It's really relying or waiting for Block One is the fastest way into depression in the EOS space.
Yeah, this is what John Eater was stating December 14 in Everything EOS. You were also in, Corvin, I remember, where we were stating with that goal, 14 December, disappointing because Block One is not delivering what they said and all. And you have John Eater that was stating, don't expect anything of Block One. Do your stuff and continue to do your stuff and don't rely on them. However, that possibly, but maybe not.
I'm sometimes thinking about if with German laws I would be able to sue Block One. Just because I mean, it's clear that it was not an ICO what they did, and instead it was crowdfunding. But even if you do crowdfunding, at least with German laws, and you sell a product or you do crowdfunding for a product and you collect money for this product, and then you just spend like 0.5% of the money earned on this product, that's, I think by German laws, that's illegal. Maybe someday, if I get rich someday, I maybe spend a few thousand euros to try this or something like that. I don't know. I mean, imagine some other company saying they are collecting money for some other product, and then they only take 0.5% of this money for the product and spend the rest of it on something different. That would be illegal, or not?
For me, it's dishonest. Dishonest is treason. Is sorry. It's I don't know. You do a super product, Corvin, with your space game and all that you are doing two half a year, and one day you have something that is someone that is coming and he taking you all your stuff, and I don't think that fair. So that's totally bastard. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not wondered. I mean, Brandon Bloomer is clearly a venture capitalist. He takes money to make more money.
I don't know. I cannot judge. I
But-
have never met him. Yeah.
So I mean, it was
But what he
foreseeable that
does,
he.
yeah.
It was foreseeable that he's into this for the money, and
But
not
all
for
that is speculation.
decentralization.
All that is speculation. Sorry, I have to disagree here because we don't know.
You have to be honest.
They are very silent because they have to be silent. Because this is they are working with institution and they are respecting the regulation. You cannot be as us here in a call and doing the work.
Sure.
They are
Absolutely.
in contact with the
There's-
real business. The real business. So I think Brendan Bloomer is a good guy. That's my intuition, and I think he's certainly like a yin and a yang, the yin and the yang with Dan Larimer. That's the good balances, and that's very good that Dan now is back to the EOS community since this year, and Brendan doing his stuff on his own. Maybe they will announce something one day. I don't know when. We have no crystal ball, but for sure.
I didn't want to say.
Can we?
I didn't want to.
Hey guys, I think Mike, are you? I didn't realize you wanted an invite. I thought you were an Eden member. You're not an Eden member yet.
I'm not an Eden member yet.
Oh
Then
shit.
let's do it.
Let's do it now. Who wants to witness? You
Okay,
want to fellow
I
Aussie, John?
do.
Well, hang on. Let me come because I'm Aussie too. So it's
Yeah, you got it. You got to
it's
get
the right thing to do.
Hey, Chris.
No, I can't. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. It's not possible.
Yeah, two ply.
Yep. Yeah. You if you want to do a Nick one, if you think that's probably more reasonable, we probably could. Also,
for the name, yeah, we'll have to do another video then where we get your where we say your name.
so I'm just getting back from my commute here and catching up with the messages. Had you on audio, but
Okay. Well, let me do this. Let's do Michael's video quick here, and then all right. So who wants to do it?
That'd be right.
John, you got your video on. Corvin. All right. Let's assign the breakout rooms. John, assign to room 1, and Corvin, you're already assigned to room 1, so hopefully you can just go there.
So you want me to do the witness? Or
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you got your camera on. And then that's should be good. Yep. Okay. I'm heading over there too. Be right back, fellas. And then yeah, hold on, two fly. Let's see if Nick, let's see if the other guy, I forget who we had on yours, but we could always switch it up. So let me go over, join.
hey, I don't know exactly, but I guess I'm wondering is one of the projects on EOS here one where there is like a space for like your own personal info, like pictures, collections of quotes, whatever you want, that just kind of live and persist with you and go from, you know, account to account? Is that something that's being made or worked on?
I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Could you explain more?
Like a MySpace profile, say, from, you know, but something, I guess, on the blockchain that is yours, that it persists as long as the network does, that has, you know, a store of your personal information, or you, whatever you want there, I guess, that would persist, you know, as long as it is recorded. Like
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
trying to think of a good
So,
example.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I mean, feel free to go on, but I was just gonna interject, say, like, isn't that kind of what the blockchain account does normally? Like, it exists for your account for as long as the blockchain keeps going, and then you can hold NFTs in it or tokens or whatever. Or do you mean something different?
Yeah, basically like essentially that, like oh, dark here. That I'm trying to sound close to the idea, but I guess maybe I'm not quite sure how to better make it describe to be distinguished specifically past that. Sorry.
It's okay.
Kind of like how Eden is like a kind of a social. I mean, like how Voice was like a social network kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
where you have, you know, communications, I guess, and your profile and all that. Is there like sort of a something like that that is like maybe your, you know, your profile that other people can, you know, easily view and, you know, look up or read when they're trying to like add you like as an account, or like, you know, like how it was being described as like earlier in the conversation, the guy was saying about you could have like a dart league and everybody's got all their info there. Like, is that all linked with a person's like profile, their name? Like, no, I've got my handicap in my name living on, you know, some blockchain or many blockchains, or, you know, one, I guess. Is that kind of being worked on, or someplace or something where there's like a portal to enter and consolidate and, you know, sort of start to aggregate and view, you know, like your information like that?
I think so. I wasn't here for early in the conversation with the Dart game reference, but I think I got what you were saying there with the handicap. And I think that basically it's like the blockchain provides that at a base level, but well, it provides that at a base level where you can have an NFT or any kind of token to represent like your handicap score or what Dart team you're on or anything like that. But it's a little bit not easy to use or not easy to look at. Like, it just displays in blocks.io, which might not be a great interface to look at if you're like, you know, a Dart player who's just wanting that information. And then on top of that, we're building, as the EOS community, we're building a lot of tools and a lot of interfaces where people can go to like a certain website for the Dart Club or for like a social media site like MySpace, and be able to display the different data that each, you know, social network or social community would want to see. And then for that, we have some communities that are up and running. Like for one, Eden, you can look at the profiles of all like 290 or 300 people who are in right now, and you can see like the profile name, their Eden name, which is the account name, and then like some links to their other social media profiles and a bio. So that is like a pretty cool interface already for that, which is I think pretty related to what you're talking about, although not like specific for Dart. You could have like a specific Eden for darts, of course, but that's not there yet. And then also like John just built Violet Garden, which I don't know if Violet Garden has like a profiles kind of view yet, where you can have like your own profile and your own NFTs and stuff, or own like your own metadata. Does it?
Yeah, it will. It doesn't now. It's in development.
Right.
Okay.
And the idea is as long as your account exists, that information is now bound with your account, and that will live on, as long as your account does.
Is there
yeah, I'm
something
pretty sure.
Is there something like a public profile contract or something like that? I mean, if we build user profiles for our game, and you build user profiles for Violet Garden, and someone else builds user profiles for his dApp, it would make sense to store them all in the same contract, or not? Just to reduce costs and have one source of truth.
It would be like your sovereign digital profile that you are, you have and will persist with you, beyond, I don't know, something that I don't know, could be maybe exists already, or something worked toward.
Shouldn't be hard to implement.
Yeah,
would we,
and it makes sense.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, it makes sense to have like a common, I suppose, like a common identity layer and like a common profile layer. And I feel like Eden can be that. Like John was kind of tapping into that with Violet Garden. And I suppose you could just use Eden profiles for the profile for Violet Garden, or you could build up a different system as well. But maybe Eden can serve as that layer.
Sure, I know that's kind of like where I'm getting at is I've got a million different identities, and none of them are like mine. They're all under private control, and they will persist as long as financial interests, allow them to. So in that regard, there's not a lot of accounts I have in control of myself, even though my digital identity is, exists. It's not immutable. So
Would the pictures and stuff just be an IPFS hash, Corbin? Would the picture, the profile picture, be like an IPFS hash?
I'm not too technical.
I'm still still unsure. I think this question was for me.
Yeah.
Still unsure. Yeah, some form of content identifier. So probably IPFS hash, yeah.
Because you could have a front end that forces like a certain aspect ratio. So you get because one of the problems we got with Violet, and probably on Eden as well. I'll have to check out Eden does it, but some people upload a profile photos where it's like a big rectangle, and then when you have like the circle, it goes to shit. So if you had a front end that enforced that, and then if we had governance share between people that are interested in it, so you if you want like a profile for your game, and then me, and then Pomelo and stuff like that, and then Eden, it wouldn't hurt to have several parties just take care of the contract. And then it sounds like a good idea though. I think it's worth doing, because there's going to be plenty of dApps that want to use the profile metadata.
But what's the problem with the IPFS hash then? I mean, what we did with Karma again was that when you were uploading a profile picture, the backend was processing this picture and creating different thumbnails of different sizes, and then the IPFS hash was set to an IPFS directory containing these different sized images. So that's not a real problem. You just need a backend or some inbuilt service.
Yeah, that'll be the most complicated part, I reckon, is just the imaging and enforcing a decent image standard, because you don't want to like accept just anything. But if you had a server doing that job to making sort of policing the IPFS hashes, then I think the rest would be easy.
What pinning service are you using to pin the
Pinata.
IPFS? Pinata Cloud?
Yeah.
It's centralized.
Yeah, it's centralized, but again, anyone
If
that's
service is down, all is down. So you do, yeah.
Sorry, go on.
You know, because I was doing a project here in Switzerland for Swiss Post Logistic, so for the packet, for the address label and all, and we have make an IPFS private servers. So not the entire IPFS network, but just some nodes of IPFS servers to make sure that we make our own pinning, not going through a service like Pinata Cloud that is very beautiful. It is very good service, but it is I would say a point of possible failure, because this is centralized cloud. One more time, we don't want to be dependent of other centralized server. We want to be at the most decentralized. So from the front end until the back end. So if during the road there are some components like this cloud service, and this cloud service is I don't know, they are changing, or they are bought by another firm, or whatever could happen. Maybe for the first for the current version it's okay. And IPFS, I am totally in favor of IPFS to store the files, to store the image, and just put the seed on the EOS mainnet as a proof of IPFS indeed. So that's nice. But the pinning service, that's the that could be the bottleneck. If if Violet Garden should scale and should go, that I think sure going more and more and iterate, the pinning cloud service could be become a bottleneck. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Pinata's in a pretty good, spot where again, they got all the cloud infrastructure they need. I'm sure they're using S3 and stuff on the back end. So again, they're a centralized service using a decentralized, protocol. But yeah, what I might consider is sort of my own sort of pinning service where it doesn't even serve; it just pins, content. So if there was some sort of disaster, then the data is still, backed up there. But I probably won't plan really for the event that Pinata goes down to bandwidth issues.
Yeah, you can do a load balancing, a kind of load balancing, and going with another service. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think by Wire News by Sullivan, yeah. By Wire News is also using the EOS mainnet and IPFS to store the large files. So that's always the problem. There are people that are saying if this solution on chain, but on chain, what does it mean exactly? Because for some people, on chain should mean that the entire solution should be on chain. I don't know if it is even possible to have all on chain, because you are doing your website, it is on one server, and the most important, that's the data that have to be at the most distributed. So to say that a solution is on chain for the non-developer, or maybe for the non-developer, they will think this solution is totally on the blockchain, but it's not the true. It's just that some metadata are on the blockchain at the most hashed, and the files, the real files, the real image and all, that's on IPFS. Yeah, that's
Yeah, well, a blockchain is for, you know, tracking events. So again, you can't have a
Voilà.
dApp that's entirely on chain, because again, you know, media is not meant to go on a blockchain. There's no real use case for trying to store stuff on a blockchain. It's just, you know, really bloody expensive.
Yeah, someone asked me today, is the solution Violet Guardian on EOS blockchain, on chain? And I answered, yes, it's clear. It's using EOS, it's on chain. There is a smart contract. Look the tables, and there was like a kind of discussion in loop. Finally, I was discussing in private because that was going a little bit too much. But that's the terminology, and also the have you already used? Because if someone is stating that your solution is on chain, I think it's since the beginning the problem. Sometimes that's the terminology, because sometimes we don't speak. We have all expecting things differently, and we are using the words totally how we want for saying what we want. So on chain is there is a meaning, yeah. That's the proofs that are on chain, and for me that's good that you have this solution, because and you have made that in how many times, this Violet Garden? How many I would say hours have you spent until now on that?
Yeah, I've been working on it for the past couple months, in most of which I'm in my spare time. So yeah, not a whole lot of time.
Okay.
I've definitely taken some shortcuts in development to sort of get it out there, to sort of, you know, have the sort of proof of concept, because I wanted something that was more than just a bloody, you know, presentation kind of thing. I wanted something for people to actually play with.
Yeah, I love it's very usable, and we see the potential. We see the potential, and that will iterate organically. I think that will iterate very, very proper, in a proper manner. And we will see the iteration. We have an eye on that. We will see the progression, and not like like you say, Corbin, with Block.one, all is hidden. We don't hidden. We don't know exactly what they are doing. That's the problem of this big company. We don't know anything what they are doing, indeed. And even on EOS, this is very transparent, because we use the EOS mainnet. All is on a public blockchain. We can all verify. But with Block.one, we don't know exactly what they are doing. That's the.
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's a little quiet, but I can hear you.
John is fooling me on Telegram.
No, you're just quiet. I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear anything before. It is a bit faint.
It did look like you. It did look like you were muted a little bit a while ago. You were talking, but nothing was coming out as far as sound.
Now I lost what I wanted to say. I think I wanted to. We are currently experimenting with WebRTC.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great. First of all, it's a great protocol, and I think you can do a lot with it in combination with EOS.io. You can bring a lot of interaction possibilities between users if you kind of share transactions within a group and do co-signing super fast. For our game, one example will be that users will be able to chat, or at least that's what we are trying to accomplish. They will be able to chat and then offer someone else some resource in exchange for something different. And then they simply click the button, exchange via WebRTC, and 2 or 3 or 4 parties can sign, send it to the blockchain. It's one transaction instead of 4 or something like that, which reduces costs. It's still decentralized.
Also, with Eden as well, we could have a sort of custom, Zoom. So here we're using Zoom, but again, you can have your own sort of, video call service in our WebRTC, easy enough. And so again, if you want to vote for someone in the election, you could just click on their, video feed and press, vote. Like it could be all done in the browser, no Zoom needed, and then streams to a server where it stores it. So it's all backed up and there's no stuff to do with.
Also for things like profile pictures, someone uploads his profile picture, and the typical way, and the way we implemented it with Karma, was that there was a centralized server processing it, mostly for the reason to make sure that we always upload images in the same format. If you remove the centralized server and then just let 20 different users do the same, and then let them reach consensus, do a multi-signature on the IPFS hash, that would be a far better and completely decentralized solution.
Yeah.
It's a bit heavier in implementation, but I think it would be worth it. And yeah, that's probably just one thing you could do with it. Potentially a lot more.
Yeah. About WebRTC, I see in Switzerland a good solution by how did you say, internet provider. They are providing a solution, collaboration solution with sharing agendas, calendars, different option of sharing, and embedded video calls using WebRTC, and all that without connection with the US, all on the server in Switzerland, in the Swiss Alps, totally independent of any other. So all based in Switzerland, indeed, in data centers, and with video capabilities, and totally from begin to end reliable. If the connection is lost for a microsecond, that is ensuring the state of the connection.
Yeah.
Like if you are using FileZilla to transfer by FTP files, if during the transfer there is a kind of internet connection lost, that's save the state of the transfer, and that's continue. So that's the same with this WebRTC capability protocol.
There was a lot of progress in the last years on WebRTC.
Yeah, and if you add to that the blockchain with WebRTC, like you said, you can avoid to make too much transaction, because with one transaction you could solve what you have to do normally, maybe with more transaction, so that will reduce the cost for a DApp developer to offer this service.
Yeah, I see the possibility to make things much more interactive. I mean, typically, if you interact with a blockchain, it comes with some form of latency. Even if you are using EOS.io, it comes with latency. There are blocks, transactions have to be validated. That's all latency. But if you enable direct communication through WebRTC and kind of reaching consensus in smaller groups and then doing multi-signature transactions, that should enable a lot of new interaction capabilities. User-friendly, low latency.
Yeah.
You first communicate with each other and then communicate with the blockchain instead of the other way around.
Yeah. But when I saw the architecture of Clarion in April, at the beginning, that was there was a schema showing also StreamR, and another solution also of another team where they have solved decentralized communication with video also. And I think Dan was stating that he was more in favor of WebRTC indeed, because it is already recognized by Google and by different official big companies. So he was very more comfortable with WebRTC. So I think now they have not to go too much, paradoxally, they have not to go too fast, because what will give the sense for Clarion platform, it's also to have a good hidden on EOS layer. And when that is a human layer, and when that is ensured, after that, coming with the Clarion platform, that could come in 1 year, for me, it's okay. Because that take time to do this kind of this kind of solution. Huh? If we want something very well crafted, I can understand that will not come already with maybe in 3 months with already a version. Us, we have to show something because we want to give us some data for this election. And after we have a pool of data and we can analyze quietly, because all in one day on October 9, fast one day, yeah. If you go far with your rounds, that can take a long time. So it's difficult to have all the, I would say the head very cold. Not warm, but very, yeah, you know, very well structured. Yeah.
Just realizing Nick's hanging on here. Nick, did you want to? Are you still there? Do you want to do another video? I'm thinking with your proper name. And if you're not listening anymore, that's cool. We'll do. Oh, you're there. Okay.
I hear you. Sorry. Sorry again. Yeah, I guess either way, it works for me. I mean, if you've got everything already in there as two-ply, that's okay. What do I got to do to change that to like recreate the membership?
Yeah. So if you want to keep 2-ply, then you'd have to go into that link and you can just update it. And you'd want to change the name from what you've got there, Nick, and put in the name we did on the video, 2-ply. The other option is we just do another video, but it'd be different people because Mel's gone to bed. So we do another video, you'd have to redo your profile, which is a copy paste exercise, but then we could use your real name. So it's more about whether you want to switch your name or not. It'll be, if it's 2-ply, then you just go and fix it to 2-ply. If you want to be Nick, then we'll just do another video either now with different people, cancel the other one and you get a new link, or we can redo the video even with the same people, but change the name like tomorrow or something.
Okay. I guess it's easiest for you guys, probably just keep the name and I'll just change it, right?
Probably.
I'm not sure if you can change it.
Yeah, you can change it.
It goes on the blockchain, doesn't it?
It's not there yet. No, he's pending, so it's not in the pending before he pays the 10 EOS. That's the command that then sends it to become an NFT, essentially.
Or I guess maybe I'm just gonna say I can change this right now on the spot here, right? It's probably like a 3-second thing.
Yeah. If you go back into that link, you should have an option to update it, and then hopefully you can just change your name to being 2-ply. And you'll get to explain to everybody, remember, why 2-ply? Is it? And you can...
Yeah, I'll do a video, guy, if you don't mind. I don't know that I'm feeling like it. If that's going to be coming up all the time, I suppose I better.
change it to Nick.
Everybody else has got their name here, don't they?
A lot of people do. Yeah, not everybody. I mean, it's a mix. But if you want to be Nick, I can totally understand because.
I better, yeah. It's the smart thing.
Okay, all right. So let's do. You want to do a quick video, Corvin, Dan? You guys are members, so we can, or even.
Yeah, I'm not actually a full member. I still have to upload the video and pay, so I don't think I can do it yet.
You don't count. Patrick, can you do a quick induction?
Sorry, no, because it is 4 in the morning here.
Okay. You're not feeling pretty. No, just kidding.
I am the only one, I think, with Corvin.
Hey, same for
Based in
me.
Germany is the same hour, I think.
You guys are nuts. Okay. So Nick, you just have to do another
The best
video.
are
but we
always
can-
until the end.
We can do a video tomorrow. Where you North America, Nick? So we're
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll touch base on Telegram, and I do a call every morning from 9 Eastern to 11 Eastern this week. So if you're around in the morning and available, and I do the Zoom. I put the Zoom up in the EOS Eden on EOS Telegram channel, the public one. Every morning at 9, I can ping you too. But I start an open Zoom. If you can come on that, then we'll do your induction then.
9 Eastern, so that'd be, or 8 Central. Nice.
Yeah, 8 Central. That's right.
Okay, good.
8 till 10. 8 till 10 Central.
Perfect. Actually, I can catch you on my way to work, and I shall. So we'll see you in the morning then.
Okay, right on, dude. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for hanging out. So that's good.
All right, guys. I think I will leave.
Okay,
For
let's back it in.
tonight.
We'll shut her down.
4 a.m., yeah.
Okay. It was good
That's
talking with you.
that's the time where I go into the bed, generally speaking.
4 o'clock. You're crazy, Patrick.
Me too.
Good for you. I mean, you get more done, right? If you don't sleep as
No,
much.
we are all crazy,
more.
you know, Chris. You know that already, that since 4 months you are becoming more crazy.
I still like my sleep, though. Doesn't matter how crazy I get. I like sleeping.
No, I sleep. Don't worry. I sleep. Yeah. I
Okay.
have all the diet for sleeping. Yeah.
All right.
I think I remember you saying you only sleep like 3 hours a night or something like that on some other one.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 3 hours. I think
It
you said.
depends where you are based. Yeah, if you are based in Switzerland, we are strong in Switzerland. You know.
You need all the
Yeah.
time to spend all your money because everyone in Switzerland is rich. No, just kidding.
The gold is, right?
No, you're right. I am rich. I am rich. Yeah, I am fucking rich, and I fucking them all. No, sorry. No, it's.
Okay, awesome,
Okay.
fellas. Well,
I am
thanks for the
not
good
rich.
call.
I work a lot,
Great
but I
chat.
am not rich. No.
I'm out. See you and have
everybody.
a good day or night or
Have a good evening.
whatever.
We'll do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, in the space.
Have a great
Bye.
night. Have a great night. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.